I just crave the simple things, 'cause that's what I want, that's what I want. I don't need no fancy car, I'll take you just the way you are, 'cause that's what I want, that's what I want, 'cause that's what I want, that's what I want, 'cause that's what I want, that's what I want, 'cause that's what I want, that's what I want, that's what I want.
Don't you wanna tell me about the time that we felt free? Turn your eye on the halo that you give yourself daily. Give me a new ending, 'cause I'm running free tonight. Don't want that story, wanna love and live my life. Always talking about what will be, gonna move out of the city. Spending our time daydreaming, living our life like a movie. I'm the only one who can make me whole. Pick me up, I'm the only one. Gonna ride this feeling and write a new beginning. I don't wanna pretend that everything I wanted was gone in the end, and I don't wanna pretend again. And I don't need to pretend I'm living in this moment, I'm living my best, 'cause I don't need to pretend and pretend and pretend and pretend. Don't have life in envy, shine a bright energy. With the waves I'm making, gotta make sure I'm happy. I'm the only one who can make me whole. Pick me up, I'm the only one. I'm gonna ride this feeling and write a new beginning. And I don't wanna pretend that everything I wanted was gone in the end. And I don't wanna pretend and pretend and pretend again. And I don't need to pretend I'm living in this moment, I'm living my best, 'cause I don't need to pretend and pretend
like you. Ain't no drama, only venom when I get my dues. Respect, I'm the next tycoon. Got a pad full of greens, couple M's my soon. Non-believer, do you see the confidence? Got some people waiting for me on the fence. I live here but never see me on the fence. Best believe that when I win it's common sense. I'm designed to fly, defeat all demise. The best me, no fear, no compromise. 100 degrees, I breathe more to life. You should disconnect and throw in the wise. And a hand that's in this. Gotta back it up a high percentage. Got a heart in my sleep non-stop. Stepping up to the seat, more shots. Getting those I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, you can never stop me. Watch me dive and free, and it's my time. Up in the stars, you'll never forget me. But not holding back on the side. Only get better with time. Ready to own what is mine tonight. I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, you can never stop me. Yeah, I never wait up. Flowers say so they coming on the way up. A true fighter's what they always been afraid of. Cards had it close on my circle when I lay up. Switch the game every quarter like a time zone. Aim for the bus, tryna build up to this milestone. Pave the way with only items that I might own. Imagine what I'm about to do, be an icon. Ain't a problem, just the haters that I might know. It's a night show, the way I'm about to make a movie with these lights. Know the one they be like me, they can try. All gold, everything when I write. Can repeat it, every legend gotta fight. A new world, when I flip, make it tight. Ain't nobody doing minutes how I like. Seat buckled up, going up like a bike. I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, up in the sky, into the light. Watch me dive and feel, and it's my time. Up in the stars, with every stride, our future's bright. Cause I'm on to the next. The way I shape shifts makes them call me a threat. Running on this path, never done, no regrets. There is nothing you can do when my face on the set. You're in front of the best. Different league if you wanna get to me. I game and pedigree. Yeah, I only got a picture on the centerpiece. I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, you can never stop me. Watch me dive and feel, and it's my time. Up in the stars, you'll never forget me. But not holding back on the side. Only get better with time. Ready to own what is mine tonight. I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, you can never stop me. One touch from you takes me to paradise, paradise. One look from you and I fall in your arms, in your arms. Baby don't stop, baby don't stop it. And give me your love, give me your love, give me your loving. Say that you want, say that you want, say that you want it. Cause this is my love, this is my love. Something about you feels like heaven came along. Baby, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Something that you do makes me feel like we belong. Baby, can you feel it? Can you feel it?
Feel the thorns embrace. Death is in bloom. None will escape my grasp.
This will be quite the deadly spectacle. My home is in the cosmos, amongst my stars.
Anything that you can do, I can do what you do. Talk to me. Heart fist swap blew through hard like a nigga got 4 irons to the death to the. Got me talk money talking, I'm always in the loop. Never mind, see y'all in the box. I'ma walk around the whip across the weather. Know if I do it better. Wow.
Anything that you can do, I can do what you do. Talk to me shit. Heart fist swap blew through hard like a nigga got 4 irons to the death.
Dumb shit, y'all blind to the truth. Sun and rain, sleet, snow, any weather. Just know if you can do it, I can probably do it better.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wild Rift League Asia Season 2, and we are here again. We're going to be looking at this next game. We are in the lower brackets of the CN Conference, and today we have Thunder Talk, who just lost recently to KBG, versus Nova Esports, who started in the lower bracket.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate when we're gonna talk about how like Thunder Talk really excelling during the regular stages. They were one of the strongest. They're top 1 when it comes to the leaderboards on how they performed, and unfortunately losing onto the upper bracket.
Yeah.
That states something.
Yeah, and again, I was surprised that they lost in the upper bracket, because remember, during the last time that Thunder Talk and KBG have met, Thunder Talk destroyed them during that time, during the first time that they met during the group stages. But now, this is what's great about KBG. They are so good at being better, especially when they are in the playoffs. And that's what I'm really afraid of whenever they're fighting against a squad like Thunder Talk, anything. They just adapted through the meta today, and I believe that this meta just agrees with them. And again, the roadmap, we started with the regular stages, almost 2 months of a regular stage, and playoffs is now commencing. And this is the last week of the playoffs that we are going to be seeing. By the next week, or at least by next week, we're going to be having the finals that time around.
So exciting, right? Because right now we already have 2 teams coming in from the APAC region, wherein you already have G2 Blacklist and KT Rolster Y, I believe, who was able to succeed out from the knockout stages. So we're gonna have in the playoffs that we've had. So it will be interesting who will be the ones coming in from the CN conference.
Yeah, it's a bit too the CN conference, based on what we've seen here, EDG being strong. This is also because of the fact that there's not really a lot of big carry junglers, but if there are, they are always banned. And that's why it's so hard for the teams that have very strong junglers like Nova and Trace Esports to find a hand in the meta. EDG, their playstyle is very different. Yes, they have a very strong jungler, but it's not really working out well for the other squads, just because EDG and KBG's jungler are very team dependent. That's the reason why it's so good that this meta is working out for him.
Yeah, individually for EDG as well, they're really strong. And as you've mentioned, right, these teams who are very jungle dependent, long for 1-4 the side of Nova, it's pretty much the long winning condition. And that's not something that we could expect, because as we're jumping into today's show, we were discussing about jungles, and thus far there are a lot of junglers who were nerfed recently.
Yeah, and that is the reason why it's so hard. It's so hard to be, oh man, it's so hard to be playing with this very strong jungler. So even though we're talking about how Nova is such a good team, especially back then when they had their first championship, Long was the start of the show. Now we're still back to that time in where Nova still has the name Long with it, and that's why here on this other side, Thunder Talk Gaming, there's a lot more players that are working really well. But let's talk about this composition again. This team, they had a really great start during the start of the season. I thought they had a chance in getting the top 4, but in the end there, they only was able to get to the top 5 to 8 because Trace Esports so far has been a better team than them.
Yeah, Trace Esports was what, top 2, top 3?
Yeah.
EDG is up there as well. Thunder Talk is up there. Nova had a very difficult time, as you mentioned, but for Thunder Talk, losing on to the upper bracket is very surprising, and now they have to creep themselves down into the lower bracket, a fight up against the likes of Nova, proceed into the next stages of the lower bracket.
Let's talk about Thunder Talk Gaming. Thunder Talk Gaming is now definitely, I thought, was the best team that we have here at the CN Conference. But difference is KBG. Oh man, that team cannot be beat. And also, just to have a trivia for everyone, Thunder Talk chose KBG to be their enemies coming this playoffs, which is why I'm surprised, because I talked to Autolus about this and he was surprised why they're going to be picking KBG. That might have been a godsend for KBG because at least they won here. And Trace Esports was sent to the lower bracket. That could have been a different storyline if they chose Trace Esports, because this meta is not working for Trace Esports. But Thunder Talk wanted a challenge, and they have been challenged in the winner's bracket.
Definitely is, especially also considering that we're talking about the defending champions here, right? KBG was the one who won up against NGX in the Season 1 final. So definitely, yes, they are underperforming into the regular stages. They are not the strongest team that we've looked at, but they still have that knowledge. They still have that foundation, and definitely, they are still a strong team to watch out for.
Yeah, and again now, this is one of the things that I love about this team overall, because yes, Soil was such a great addition to the squad, and during Season 1, it was a bit too late when they added Soil in the composition, but one of the things that I love about that guy is that he can play everything, and that's why Soil is such a great player right here. But again, let's talk about both of the junglers here. Very different playstyles. Xby and Long has a different playstyle. Long, very carry, and Xby is such a utility dependent team. But again, let's go to the stage first.
职业联赛 WRLA 的比赛现场，我是麦麦。今天是败者组第2轮的首场比赛，由 Nova Esports 对阵 Thunder Talk Gaming， 谁能离最终决赛的舞台更进一步，谁又将止步于此？让我们在比赛中寻找答案。接下来，让我们欢迎 Nova Esports 以及 Thunder Talk Gaming。Today is the first battle of the second round of lower bracket with Nova Esports and Thunder Talk Gaming. Who can get closer to finals, who will start their journey of this tournament? Let's see in the wild. Now shout it out for Nova Esports and Thunder Talk Gaming.
今天4-0 Nova， 祝你们主教练生日快乐！
今天教练送你们回家包饺子。
You know what? I kind of miss this banter sessions that they have, especially in live, because in the APAC conference we have heard banters from all of our players, but it's not live. But seeing each other face to face is kind of a different. It's a different story when you're bantering face to face.
Yeah, it definitely is different. It hits different, right? Because just imagine the trash talk, or well, not the trash talk, but rather the banters are directly addressed to you compared to well, the online, wherein it's not exactly as you see it. So it really is different. But as you know, Dash, I completely did not understand what was said during the banters.
Yeah, that's a problem though. That's one of the problems. One of the things that I love about those types of banters is when they are very passionate when they're doing that. That's why I want to know what they are actually saying. I thought during Season 1, Autobus and I were talking about this. By Season 2, we probably know at least an inkling of what they're saying in the banter sessions, but it's Season 2 now and we still don't know what they're saying. So we're in a very big need of a translator on the banter sessions.
Yeah, we have to actually go in and learn Mandarin and learn Chinese overall
for Season 3.
Understand. Yeah, for Season 3, just to understand the banter.
Yeah, don't worry everybody. By Season 3, we have a month break, I think. So we're gonna take Mandarin classes for you guys, so we will know what they're saying in this banter sessions. So don't worry guys, don't worry. We have you guys by Season 3.
Yeah, we'll definitely do. We might not understand the sentences completely, but maybe just a touch.
Yeah, they were saying something about that we will tell the story by now. They're saying something about this word or something. So yeah, now that the players are complete, I think they are ready to play. And I'm kind of excited about this matchup, Infinity, because ever since Season 1, I was a big fan of Thunder Talk Gaming. Also because of their very nice run during that time. Because their playoffs run was honestly nice, but they weren't just able to get there to the top 2. They just lost an inkling during that last time, but I have very high hopes for this squad now.
They were so good. There is no one that can really dismay or belittle the power of Thunder Talk during the regular stages that we've had. They're one of the strongest. They were having a win streak overall up until EDG beat them down, and right after they were still taking a couple of wins left and right. So this team is really something, or well, a team that you have to look out for.
Yeah.
But given the performance onto the upper bracket, that is going to be such a scary thing to watch out for coming into the series today.
Yeah. What's so funny about that though is because last season, Season 1, KBG was also the team that took them out of the lower brackets. And that's why it's like the same as what happened last time. Because during their last battle, that best of 7, first 2 games Thunder Talk was able to win. But when you give time to a team like KBG just becomes a different beast. And that's why I'm so scared about that squad.
It's about adapting, right? The ability to adapt, the ability to change, that's the very important aspect into these matches. And KBG did that right into the upper bracket. So we'll see how these teams perform coming into the series.
Yeah, and I always talk about, whenever we're talking about KBG, we're talking about Thunder Talk. Or at least these 2 teams, Nova and Thunder Talk. Nova, we're talking about Long. Thunder Talk, we're talking about Z. Z is one of the very contested thought. Because Andra 9 is, yes, the best mid laner in this game, Wild Rift. But Z could come close to a second or even close to the first place here in the Wild Rift League Asia, especially in the CN Conference. But I don't know, guys. I don't know. But because KBG was able to win, yes, Under 9 is still the top 1. Z could come close to a second.
Yeah, and right now we're swiftly going through the bans here. We have Ezreal already locked in by Nova, which is very surprising given the fact that this is a priority pick we're in. The thing is, you still have a lot of picks open for both these sides. You have the likes of Gragas Ornn as a support, and yes, it's not as prioritized over the past few matches that we've had here in the playoffs, but that's still open for both these teams. Renekton will be the answer here for Thunder Talk though.
Yeah, what's really great about having an Ezreal in your team is Ezreal has been a constant great pick ever since, not even during the playoffs, ever since we have this ADC meta. Ezreal is such a consistent pick, and that's why people love just having the comfortability of having an Ezreal on your squad. And that's why Ezreal as a first pick, not really that bad. It's already okay for them because at least on the other side, Thunder Talk is forced to use a Sivir, which so far is inconsistent compared to how an Ezreal was during the start of this season. So now Aatrox is going to be picked here, a nerfed Aatrox on the side of Long.
Yeah, but this is a good deny from Nova because you really have to think about with Sivir onto the other side, with Sivir going to the side of Thunder Talk, we do not want the possibility of Aatrox going to the likes of Soil. So Thunder Talk has to adjust. Kassadin will be locked in by Nova, and Thunder Talk opts to hover onto Kha'Zix.
Yep, Xboy is going to be picking up this Kha'Zix for himself, just for him to have a better wave clear compared to the Aatrox. And this is what I like whenever they're picking the Kha'Zix, because back then during Season 1, people will think that Kha'Zix should be getting a lot of kills during the early to mid game. But what I like about the Kha'Zix is the way that the Kha'Zix clears. Kha'Zix clears massive or at least big objectives faster than most junglers.
Yeah, they do. And right now, Lee Sin also banned away, Lucian removed by Nova. This is clever because the thing about what we have in an individual matchup in the ADC role is Ezreal and Lucian. This is pretty much the classics of the classics throughout Wild Rift League Asia. So banning it away gives that possibility for Nova Esports as well to really excel. And the big question mark, however, is that Thunder Talk already has Severe. So that's something to keep in mind how Nova is currently thinking about this draft. Alistar is banned away by Thunder Talk.
Yeah, they just don't want to fight the headache of having a Lucian in the mid lane, especially that Z is the one they're fighting against. So having a Lucian, a Corki in the mid lane is going to be out of the picture. Azeri could be a good pick here for the side of Thunder Talk Gaming if they want a mid laner that could fight well against a Kassadin. But an Akali was taken off, so Kassadin doesn't really have a lot of things going for this guy. I'm really surprised that Nova picked Kassadin first in their side, because there's a lot of counters that they can think of whenever a Kassadin gets picked up.
Yeah, because expectedly, you want the likes of Zoe or even the Vladimir to come through first before you pick up the Kassadin as one of the counters with so much AP resistance or magic resistance innately built into a Kassadin that really denies this huge AP damage. But with that said, it's going to be a mystery how Thunder Talk will play this out. But Nautilus being hovered here, but Galio could potentially come through as well.
Galio is way better. Just some more consistency for the squad here would be what they need, especially if they go for a dive. That's why they have an Aatrox, that's why they have a Kassadin. This is a big dive composition, and having a buy together with it just really makes it work for the squad here. But you don't usually see Long picking up the likes of Vi in their composition, but Thunder Talk could definitely pick up a Gwen, which is not really a problem, or also a Zeri on their side. That could be good. But Vladimir, in the works. For Thunder Talk, the confidence picking up a Vladimir against a Kassadin.
Yeah, and you mentioned it, right? We have licked on to the topic a while ago, right? How Kassadin is one of the counter plays up against the likes of Zoe or even the Vladimir given the AP resistance. But this is very interesting how Thunder Talk really has the confidence and the guts to really bring out the likes of Vladimir into this matchup in the mid lane.
Oh man, this is gonna be really hard, man. Because take a look at this, Infinity, because with the composition that they have, I really love that there's a lot of flexibility with the composition that Thunder Talk has. There's a lot of ways for them to go in and out of the battle. But for the side of Nova Esports has a very deep composition where they just want to dive. And that's what they want to do with this composition. So what they need to do is to strike first. And that's what you need to do whenever you have a composition like this.
Yeah, we'll see if they could really excel coming into that type of composition as well, given how you have stated, right? Because the thing is, as you have mentioned, right, that diving, and Nova Esports has a lot of tools in their composition with the likes of Vi to go for the engage, with Galio going through with the hero's entrance as well. You have an innate ability to peel for yourself with an Ezreal. So Nova Esports is pretty much having a good composition with their lineup. It's just a matter of time how they're going to execute.
Yep. And while we're talking about this, Infinity, Nova Esports has a way easier composition to pull off, and that is also because of Long picking up the Vi for himself. So that's one of the advantages of this composition, and that's what they want to do with this. As long as they get the level 5 and they get the first gank, that is their key to victory here. Just snowballing this composition out of control.
Definitely is. So we'll see how both teams could perform. Right, Vi as well coming into the early game has the possibility of going into the mid lane, has the possibility of going into the side lanes for a gank, because level 3 you have the access to the likes of Vault Breaker. But given how Kha'Zix will be playing this as well, expect, a farming game all throughout that early matchup before that level 5, before they go for those massive engagements.
Yeah. Once they start this, let's take a look at how they would be able to make this work for the squad. Nova Esports already starting to get that advantage early on, and this is what you want whenever you're picking up a Vi. Just put in the pressure, no vision in this side of the map, so Thunder Talk a bit too late to this answer. They haven't seen where Long was, so they are going to be seeing no red buffs on this side. But look at the top side of the map, already a fight happening. Shin is going to have a hard time here, needs to flash away. Vault Breaker is going to be hitting. Shin is going to go in, and that's going to be a kill for Long. First blood.
Instant flash as well for Long to be able to go back. X-By coming in.
Yeah, X-By is going to try his luck. No more flashes for Long. He knows that there is not a clear objective here for their squad on the top side.
Yeah, they're not able to reach it, so Nova Esports will be able to secure that first blood for themselves. It's very straightforward on how they perform. Like Yitze understood that Long is patting himself on the top side of the map. Vault Breaker comes through, the CC was flawless, and that was pretty much it.
Great
Clean,
way
calm and collected.
to finish that. And again, for the likes here of Thunder Talk Gaming, what they want to do is to get that, at least in the early game, they should just play it safe. But for now, Nova Esports is just making sure that this composition is working its magic. Just get some kills early on, just get some advantage so that the late game carriers would be able to carry the game.
Yeah, that definitely is so. And right now, very much a waiting game. XBY really needs to be able to hit that level 5 first before he's able to come through with these engages, with these ganks. And Nova Esports, from what we have talked about a while ago, really just utilized the power of Vi coming into the early game with a lot of axes into those gap closers on a Vault Breaker. And later on, since level 5 has already been locked in, cease and desist will come through.
Yeah, especially if you have this one on the bottom side of the map. You have Soil not even at level 5 yet.
No info.
This is gonna be way easier for Long to just go in for the gank, but not gonna be able to continue because they don't really have any openings in the bottom side of the map. So for now, you could definitely see the way that Thunder Talk is gonna be working this. Just because they lost their early game advantage, Long is gonna be way over leveled compared to everybody. So that's why they're just playing it safe, not committing to any fights.
Yeah, in addition to that, I like how you mentioned about Long having that level advantage, because remember, Kha'Zix, XBY, lost his red buff, lost his Krugs as well.
Yeah.
So that's so much XPs and gold deficit onto the jungle individual matchup, wherein Long has a clear advantage.
Yeah, what's really hard about this though is they still haven't done it this second time around, because Long is just moving left and right, just finding camps per camps. So far, they just want to punish XBY as much as they can, and Nova is just making use of the vision just for them to get the pressure on that Kha'Zix. And once that Kha'Zix doesn't get the items, this is gonna be bad for the first objective.
Definitely is bad. And right now, Nova, this is very traditional. Dual lanes now coming into the mid lane, and then you have the mid lanes coming into the bottom lane. Given how Galio works individually as a champion with the availability of Hero's Entrance, he could roam elsewhere and could still have the possibility of going into the mid lane immediately if it does need. And remember, Ezreal on himself has an ability to peel, right? Or well, not peel, but is a very mobile champion innately, so he could go back out off of those team fights if ever a danger comes through. So not exactly something that you really need to spoon feed all throughout the laning phase.
Yeah, and this is what I like about Long though. Look at how he's gonna be itemizing after this. Trinity Force is already built. Once he heads to the base, would be able to take that back for their team, and now they have advantage on the first objective. Have 5 seconds in the clock, and this is gonna be the first objective.
Yeah, and that will be massive as well if you're considering the aspect of things. Strike Force in the early game is massive for
a bit too late.
Yeah.
A bit late to this fight though. Shenshi will be able to run away. Bit too late on this objective. Rift Herald is not taken. Lots of members of Nova are already on this side of the map, and they would want to try and take this as fast as they could. Long would be able to take this easily. A 50-50 is where Long is confident in. That is not going to hit. Call it the Forge Guard. Very big disadvantage for the squad. But backline though, they have Ornn already on their hands. They have one with the Hero's Entrance onto the backline. There's going to be free Rift Herald to their side, and now they go to the backline. So it's going to be taken under the flash happen. Shin is going to be next. And that's going to be 3 kills to the hands of Nova. And they're still not done. They want to take down Z. And this is too much pressure for the squad. Sanguine Pool is going to be used. Was able to flash away. And that's 3 kills and a tower top side.
Yeah, and Nova just erased Thunder Talk from that fight. It was a very clean play that Nova did. Long was going in for the Drake. They have the clear advantage. Remember that. They have the gold advantage. They have the item advantage. So going for the Dragon is something that could clearly give them an edge. And on top of that, Nova Esports, the rest of the crew, was able to delay the Rift Herald take. Remember, looking back at the replay on how Nova did this, Long was just able to come through. They were able to push them back, and it was just so good. Yes, Sin was able to really gain access onto the likes of Ezreal, but once again, Arcane Chef back away, easy retreat.
Yeah, really surprised about how they approach this fight though. Thunder Talk tried to go for the Dragon, but they already know that they have a disadvantage. But because they were a bit too late to the rotation, they weren't able to take any of the objectives. And Nova Esports is just, oh man, this is just gonna be taking it slowly for the side of Thunder Talk. I think this is too slow for even a squad like Thunder Talk because they weren't able to take any of the objectives, which is super surprising. But now, Shin can be jumped on. 2 members, Ignite on his head is ticking. And they are not going to continue the kill here, but using the Dominus just to push him back.
Just to push him back. We'll be able to come back unscathed. Yitze.
Yeah, next buy. Too much damage, and wow. That's going to be the first skill of Thunder Talk.
The skill of Thunder Talk compared to the 4 kills that Nova was able to secure already, and they need every single goal that they could. And right now, they have to take that turret on top of the map. And you're looking at Sivir as well. You're looking at Ornn. They're strategizing on top side of the map. They really need these amount of golds to be able to enter their mid lanes and their junglers just to close in onto the gap that Law was able to provide for the team.
Yeah, and that is going to be good. At least they were able to take 1 objective for their side. Nova still has 2. They were able to take the tower bot side. 1.5k gold lead. Even if they got kills, they got towers. It is still a good spot for Thunder Talk Gaming.
Definitely is a very good spot. It's just 2k gold lead that we're talking about. Well, 1.5 if you want to be more specific. And that is just becoming more minute by the second, by the minute. And this is what Thunder Talk wants to happen. That Nova Esports, yes, they could get a lot of these objectives. They could get a lot of these golds. But Thunder Talk at this moment really just has to close in onto the gap and take the advantage back, or at least put the gold or put the state of the game on an even level playing field.
Yeah, I mean, it's also very expected here, Infinity. With the composition that they have, I really expected that Thunder Talk would lose the early game because they have a Sivir who doesn't work until she gets 3 items, which is honestly okay, an okay spot for Thunder Talk right now. And Z not having any items is going to be bad for the squad. Until he gets the 3rd item, Vladimir is just so hard to control. So for now, Thunder Talk is just making work of what they have. They don't have any damage anyway, so might as well just let Nova just take what they want for now, because it's still in the early game and Nova Esports is just gonna take over here. So for now, from what we're seeing, Nova is doing a great job just taking out a lot of resources away from Thunder Talk.
And putting an emphasis onto the Sivir pick for the likes of Thunder Talk, aside from the fact that he's really squishy and cannot perform into the early game, given how Thunder Talk locked this champion in, they're relying on the possibility of mid-game, late-game to really have that teamfight prowess up against Nova Esports. They have a lot of engaged tools as well, given they have the Ornn, given they have the Renekton to come into the back line, so that will be where they bank on.
Yeah, Thunder Talk a bit too late in the rotation again. And now they don't have any vision on this side of the map, so it will still be hard. They have one on the Tri-Brush right there in the bottom side. That would not be enough. They need at least a bit more because we're in an ocean rift right now, everybody. So there's a lot of brushes that they need to clear before they try to go in. Soul a bit too late to the party. Call of Forge God is going to be used. They're going to be going for the knock up onto Long. Gonna go to the back line. They got some damage onto there. And Long is still on full HP. Still gonna be good. They got the steal! And they worked it. Thunder Talk is still going for the end there. And Nova Esports wasn't able to do anything.
Yeah, and Thunder Talk was able to get a kill as well. And at that point, they need not to be able to put pressure and get a lot of risk onto pursuing the likes of Nova. Because the thing is, the mid lane is open, and that is another objective for themselves.
Yeah, and that's also big. Getting the mid lane tower, compared to the other towers, mid lane has such a value for everybody. Because once you take that down, that opens up a lot more compared to when you take down the top side or bot side of the map. So it's still a good win for the squad here. So with that advantage that they got, Nova Esports, this is looking hella scary because with what we're seeing here, Nova would need to make sure that Kassadin gets to level 13 confidently.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? We mentioned this, that they're really banking on that mid-game, late-game, and if that point reaches, Kassadin will now start to scale exponentially, right? Extra defensive capabilities, you have extra damage potential as well coming into these fights, and that will put that extra front line for Nova that will hinder Thunder Talk to gain access onto Ezreal.
Yeah, know that Yami's in the area. But for now, it's gonna be hard, Infinity, because of what we're seeing here. The damage is looking really scary, especially for the side of Thunder Talk, because they already have almost 3 items completed for X-Buy. He could definitely delete a Neon or even an Ezreal here on the side of Nova Esports, but now they are still looking for an opportunity to go for the kill. Wait, Neon? This is
Oh.
a bit too scary, Neon. You're fighting
Long.
against two. Long is also here. A lot of members are going to be using the ultimate right there on the wrong target. They use the season desist of Vladimir.
That's really unfortunate because the thing is,
No way.
Vi is one of the most straightforward champion, but the thing is, one Sangunpo can deny the ultimate, and that is just exactly what we saw. The ultimate onto Z was not exactly the optimal target.
Oh man, that is true. This is really hard for the squad here just because they lost a bit of that advantage. They're making very rash decisions. It's a good thing that they don't have the firepower yet, but Neon could have been killed there once he uses that Rift Walk amongst two members of Thunder Talk.
It was unfortunate. The timing, the positions, the placements were a little bit unorganized, but the thought was there. Because the thing is, Long was patting themselves on top side of them as well, like with other members from the side of Nova. So the idea was to go in for those ganks, but Z is one of the champions that could also go in for the self-peel. Just like that, Sangunpo gets back away.
Yeah, take a look at that. 1.2k gold lead. Now Nova Esports looking for an opportunity to get maybe a shutdown gold or maybe a kill for themselves. Just because for now, letting the game be a stalemate is a bad spot to be in, especially if you have your composition geared towards that early game advantage from what a Vi could give. And that would just alleviate the pressure in Thunder Talk.
Yeah, definitely would be. That's the moment. With Baron up already, a lot of these teams have to focus in on vision game on top side and map Baron being started.
Yeah, 13 minutes. They have the true shot barrage to get vision on where Thunder Talk is. At least they were able to smell this from a mile away. And they were able to cancel what they want to do. This is what's scary whenever you have a Kha'Zix on the other side, because they could definitely take down a Baron that fast.
Very quick, very easy as well. You also have a lot of insurance when it comes to mobility. If ever it comes down to an all-in from Nova, Thunder Talk could definitely turn around and also go for the counter engage against Nova. They have a lot of tools in the baggage. They also have Call of the Fourth God. So this is something that Thunder Talk really has utility-wise that could make them a beast when it comes to those team fights later on.
This is what's so hard whenever you're fighting against, say, an Orin, because there's a lot of ways for the Orin to just counter you guys or at least stop the fight from happening. And that is what they have here in the squad that Nova is going to have a hard time doing. Yes, they have the Hero's Entrance, but they always use the Hero's Entrance as a combo to that Vi. And X-Vi needs to be scared here. It's a good thing he has the Edge of Night. He could have been killed there.
Yeah, very scary. That is...
Oh no.
Oh, Dragon.
Oh, look at the
for
call
Baron?
here. Because they're starting the Dragon, they're going to go for the Baron. This is going to be really fast Infinity. Remember, they have an ADC that could crit really well. Long is going to go here. They have the damage, but they might be able to go for the steal. Goes in for the knockout, and they won't be able to go for the steal. And they are now just going to be ending the fight as fast as they could. The damage coming in from their side is working their magic. X-Spy is going to go in. Neon is going to be next. There's no mana, but he got the kill in the end. But they got a 4-kill, 4-1, but they have the Baron on their side, so they can end the game.
They can end the game. Neon is the only one last standing, and Thunder Talk is going in for the inhib already.
Yeah, they're going to be ending this game, and this is going to be fast. They have the Nexus Shields, but they have the Baron on their side. They're going to try their best. They have the Stasis, but this is not going to work well for the squad. This game is going to be ended and was able to get concluded just because of one Baron fight.
It was a Dragon for a Baron, a win for an objective, and Thunder Talk, very methodical, very knowledgeable ever since the regular stages, and with one loophole, with one opportunity, they could end the game.
What was that? Because I was confused about how they decided that, Infinity, because they still have the Baron available, and as we were talking about it, they had a Kha'Zix and a crit ADC on the side of Thunder Talk. They should have been scared when they tried to take that Dragon. Thunder Talk had one thing in their mind, and that was to take the Baron if ever they take the Dragon. So it was a smart way of going about it for Thunder Talk, just to bait them out, just to put themselves in the mid lane. And once they saw everybody on the bottom side of the map, they decided, let's just take Baron and risk the fight.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part about Baron, actually specifically to League of Legends Wild Rift. It's a bit squishier than normal, so taking down the Baron is going to be so quick, so fast, and as you have emphasized multiple times all throughout the game number 1, is that
Yeah.
with the availability of Kha'Zix onto the likes of Thunder Talk, Baron takedowns are going to be swift, are going to be easy.
Yeah, and that's what I like about the Kha'Zix. I mean, for now, I don't even think about the Kha'Zix in Wild Rift, at least as a big killer in the early game, or at least in the mid game. That is when you see the Kha'Zix shine the most, is because the way he takes those big objectives is just so fast compared to the other champions that we have in the roster. At least now in the meta, there's not really a lot that can contest on how fast a Kha'Zix could just take that. So that's why there, Thunder Talk just did what they do best. Punish enemies when they make those mistakes, and that's what happened this game.
Yeah, and it's a worthy trade. You know what? Thank you for going for the dragon. We don't need it. We're going for the Baron instead. And the thing is, they already denied the soul. So it doesn't matter if Nova takes it down. Yes, they will have an extra objective in their advantage.
What
but
is that damage?
Baron is going to be much more favorable. And
Long
yes,
with
as you have
2k
mentioned,
damage? Long?
It's unfortunate.
When do you see Long getting 2k damage, man? It's just today that I've seen Long get... Oh man, this is unfortunate for them.
It is,
Sorry about cutting you off, Infinity, but I was just so surprised.
Yeah, it's surprising, right? Because traditionally, when we look at junglers, it's going to be so massive when it comes to the jungle. Oh, well, for the damage, from what we've seen during the regular stages, given that it's a carry jungle meta, but this time around, Long went in for the Vi and expectedly it's going to be much higher, but he went all in when it comes to utility and then was not able to really excel into looking for those engages.
Yeah, you know what? This is one of the things that is really unfortunate about those carry jungler players that we have here in the CN conference, is that they don't really have a lot of choices now, do they? Because most of the choices that they do have, for example, the Evelyn, that Long is so good at playing, is not really gonna be available every time because everybody's just gonna be banning that. So there's not really a lot of ways for them to shine. But Z getting this MVP. Wait, I'm surprised that Z was able to get this. I was thinking about X-Buy this game.
X-Buy, Kha'Zix, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But you know what? MVP title onto Z. No deaths regardless.
Yeah.
106 KDA.
Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. But if you have an honorable mention, it's going to be X-Buy, right? Because X-Buy really did so well this game. But again, everybody, we're just going to be taking a short break before we head into the next game. See you guys in just a bit.
I will not be restrained. My potential is limitless.
Feel the thorns embrace. Death is in bloom.
And we're back! 30 seconds too early, but again, everybody's excited for this next battle. I mean, everybody's always waiting for the next fight, so Infinity, I'm kind of excited to see what's gonna happen in this next battle, because from what we're seeing from that last game, Thunder Talk made the game slower, which is the reason why Nova wasn't able to contain their patience anymore, and that's why they lost in that last battle.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate to think about how Nova Esports during the beginning had a very great start, had an amazing start given how they controlled the opposing junglers. They were able to take that invade on top side quadrant, a jungle, and they were able to take that first blood. And it was just Thunder Talk who played it very methodically and very well taught overall that pretty much won them the game, because they do not need to force out fights. They just need to play for Baron. They could end the game right after.
Yeah, and that's what I like about this though. So what they need to do here for Thunder Talk is just to make sure that they would be able to pick off the junglers that they think Long would be able to utilize this coming games. Because during the last patch 4.4D, a lot of the champions that Long uses just got nerfed, and that's the reason why it's so hard. Look at that, look at the thumbs up from Long. That is exactly what I want to say to everybody whenever your champions get nerfed. You just put a thumbs up out, and yeah, just wait for it.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate, but right now we're jumping into game number 2. But the surprising aspect of this is that we're going to have a similar side selection for both these teams.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Thunder Talk is still going for the red side.
Red side.
Because the red side gives you 2 champions that you need to use. Because for now in this meta, there's not a lot of champions that you can single-handedly use for you to have your big advantages. Because most of the champions are really good right now. There's a lot of choices. So having 2 more champions in the first 2 picks, or rather first 3 picks, is going to be way better. That's why Thunder Talk just makes use of that.
Yeah, definitely is. But they ran away to Kassadin. So that's interesting.
Hecarim is available. Oh no, this is not gonna be good for... Oh no, Thunder Talk Gaming, is that gonna be good for them? It's a good thing that Renekton is gonna be first pick here, because I do believe that a Hecarim fits way better on the hands of Xby, because Kha'Zix is gonna be way better for the hands of Long here.
Yeah, definitely is. And right now you also have the Aatrox availability for the side of Thunder Talk, so Hecarim will not be that option unless they put Aatrox on top side of the map, which is not something that we haven't seen in the past. So Hecarim will be locked in, as you mentioned, by Nova.
I was surprised that they didn't pick it on the side of Thunder Talk Gaming. What is gonna be their answer here? Because there's a lot of damage options already for... Wait! This is not a champion you pick when you see 3 champions that could dive you. So okay, I'm really surprised that they picked up a Kha'Zix here. Xby is gonna be an objective bot this game.
It definitely is. I mean, that's what happened coming into the game number 1, right? Xby did not really have that opening wherein he was consistently going for those kills. In the early game, he was non-existent during the laning phase onto those kills. So I think that is what Thunder Talk is going for, that we really want those objectives. And Xby with the Kha'Zix is playing it very well.
Yeah, and again, this is... Oh no. This is gonna be bad. So with what we've seen here... Oh man, this is gonna be bad here for Zeri. Zeri is going to be picked up for their side. From what we're seeing here for Thunder Talk Gaming, they are going with the same composition, just except for that Renekton and even that Aatrox that has been exchanged on both sides. And the Ezreal being banned, there's not really a lot of safe options here for their side. But from what we're seeing here, Nova, this is gonna be bad. Just because of those nerfs when it comes to the monster damage, there's not really a lot of options here for long anymore. So for now, they're gonna be going to a Nautilus, and they would think if ever this would work for this next game. Gwen, Z's favorite champion in the mid lane whenever he's fighting against a Vladimir.
Yeah, and right now, when it comes to this aspect, it's a scary draft for Nova, right? They have a lot of tools for engage. They have Hecarim, they have the likes of Vladimir, they have Zeri to be able to scale, and that is something that we could look at later on. But what is very amazing onto the flip side for ThunderTalk is they have Sivir and Aatrox. They also have a lot of engage tools to be able to utilize the movement speed on the hunt, on the ultimate of Sivir, that could really be on par when it comes to that mobility that Nova has on Hecarim.
Yeah, and from what we're seeing here, I really love the way that everybody's making this work. With the composition that we've seen, I think there's a lot more iterations of this compositions that I kind of like whenever you have a Vladimir, for example, in the mid lane. There's a lot of iterations that you could use compared to how it was in Season 1. There's only one composition, or at least one or two compositions that works well. But here in Season 2, there's a lot more that you can go for, which I really like, which would happen from the recent patches that we had. But again, tomorrow is going to be patch 5.0, but we're going to see that in the finals, not this week.
And this is definitely going to be exciting. I'm accelerated. ThunderTalk versus Nova. The thing is, the expectations was that ThunderTalk, yes, is the favorites coming into this matchup, is the favorites coming into the series, but with their performance up against KBG, the thing was, it's looking a little bit rocky. But the performance coming from that game 1 was a hell of a performance to really go for here for ThunderTalk as a start.
Yeah, and what you want for a team like ThunderTalk, from what we've seen from the past few games, is they would really want to find a way to get advantages in the early game now compared to before. Because from what we're seeing here for the composition of Nova, they have a lot more leverage during the late game compared to what the ThunderTalks has. Because remember, it's a Sivir together with a Vladimir on their composition, almost the same, or rather a Zeri together with a Vladimir in their composition. So it's way easier to maneuver this composition come the late game. So what ThunderTalk wants to do is just get as much as they can in the early game, and maybe even just brute force this mid game to their side.
Yeah, especially considering that late game will not exactly be the strongest suit for ThunderTalk. Just given how Nova has the Vladimir, also has the Zeri, you also have the Hecarim that you have to always consistently keep in mind, especially coming into mid-game, late game, wherein he already has access to the likes of Onslaught of Shadows, he has access already to a lot of these mobility skills for the jungler of Nova for long. So that's something that ThunderTalk has to keep in mind.
Yep. What's the difference here for the past game is because they have a lot more options for that first objective compared to what happened a while ago. Because from what we've seen the game a while ago, Vi was just able to go for the other side of the jungle, go for some invades, get some resources, just decelerate X-Vi. But now they can't really do that because Vi is one of those big bully champions that you can have in the early game. And Hecarim, because of the recent nerfs that he had, he won't have that same domination compared to before, but he's still one of the best junglers, or at least one of the decent junglers that we have here in this patch. But again, going to the mid lane, they're gonna go for the onslaught of shadows, push him back, and he has nowhere to go. Just a good thing he has to miss. That's why Z was able to survive.
Yeah, and Yami's in danger. X-Bite.
Yeah, topside Kitse is gonna be next. Jumps around and gets to taste their fear.
Amazing fear that was sent out by X-Bite on top side of the map, and with just that one kill, it's now a priority for ThunderTalk on top side of the map. Chen Si
gets a knock up. Sanguine Peel was used. Oh, that could have been it. If that was able to hit, it's a good thing Neon was able to flash away, because that could have hurt that needlework.
That was too close for comfort. And right now, they have to go in for the reset. It was just phenomenal to be able to watch that. And going on top side, that is very straightforward. X-Buy went invisible, used up the flash to come through. Very straightforward as a kill.
Ooh, it's a good thing the timing of that flash If he flashed a bit earlier, that could have been a save for himself, but because it was a bit too late, wasn't able to get it. But again, for this side, for Nova Esports, what they want to do with this advantage that they got on top side, I think it's still a Renekton. So Renekton is still a bit decent in this battles. He has at least one room for error on that first blood that happened in the top side. So at least now, it's still okay for that Renekton to be staying top side.
Yeah, and the thing about Aatrox, the very much direct counter to this champion is mobility. Just going for side steps, just missing out those knockups. X-Buy.
Yeah, X-Buy still gonna go top side. It's gonna be a very sneaky Void Assault. It's gonna be used again. The good thing he has another slice and dice. That's the reason why he was able to go. That is gonna be fear on Yitza's eyes just because of those ganks that happened.
Yeah,
but oh, it's a good thing he was able to flash away, or at least dash away. That's why he was able to survive there.
Yeah, he was able to read Yami's eyes. The bloodlust coming in from his veins onto the bot side of the map was something really pressurizing onto the bot side of the map there. But thus far, as you have mentioned, this is going to be such a an aggressive playstyle that ThunderTalk really wants to go for, especially how he wants his top-sided map, his Aatrox, to really have that priority up against Renekton.
Yeah.
Given that later on, if Aatrox is fed, there's no one that can stop this.
Yeah, the Aatrox is one of those champions that when he gets a very massive snowball, you can see the damage just come through, and it is gonna be hurting. And that's why whenever you get like 3 items on this guy, it's gonna be very scary. And now, accelerating it is just helping out the cause here for ThunderTalk Gaming.
And not just even the damage that will come to life. Literally, Aatrox will never go down and die on a fight.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing, right?
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's very scary to look at. And now ThunderTalk, with how they want to win the early game, with how they want to snowball, they want to go for that Rift Herald.
Yeah. Want to get this early game, get the Rift Herald, get the early snowball that they want to go for. Now, they are starting it. The Rift Herald has been taken down now. And Nova is already starting to fight. 2 knockups onto the side of Nova. And they want to take down this mid lane turret as fast as they could. And nobody could stop them. Or, should I say, nobody could stop Shelly from doing that.
Yeah. Shelly is pretty much the early game MVP, as we may call it. For those of you that are new, Shelly is pretty much Rift Herald. It's a... Yep. I believe it's a league term, right? It's a league thing that they did.
Yeah. That's why she's named Shelly now. And now for everybody, for that, gaining advantage from a Rift Herald, or at least gaining a bit of a gold advantage, is such a big edge, especially in a game where resources are always being taken left and right. That's why it's so good in the early game. But again, Nova Esports is not going to have that for themselves. But what I like about this is that Nova would just want to stay safe, just want to play it safe here on the side lanes.
Yeah, they don't have to force it, right? They just need for Zeri, they just need to wait for Neon to be able to gain those items, and even Long as well. And this is one of the characteristics of Non that I truly love when it comes to the regular stages, is that they just go in full on farming game for Long for what? First 15 minutes of the game, wherein Long was able to farm, wherein Long was able to stack up when it comes to XPs, and then right after, that is where he just jumps through and dominate the Rift. And that is something that Nova could do on the brink of defeat, where Nova could rise back.
Oh, needlework! I thought that could have been it. Remake could have died there. It's a good thing that was not the last stack of that needlework, and was not able to execute him in the end there. Now, from what we're seeing, ThunderTalk is just making use of this early game advantage, just pushing or punishing the Zeri whenever possible. And because of what we said a while ago, Infinity, whenever you take down the mid lane turret, that gives more options for your jungler to move around and go for invades.
Yeah, it's a natural advantage for pretty much the whole Baron and the whole Drake objective onto the sides, and also the control over the left quadrant and bottom quadrant jungle. ThunderTalk
goes in for the push. At the call of the Forge God, Ian's gonna be their target. It's a good thing he got the knock up there. Could have been a kill on their side. That Sanguine Pool was a saver, and that knockup from Yami was able to save Neon.
Yeah, so much invested coming from Neon as well. He has to use the flash to go into the Honey Fruit. You also have the Sanguine Pool. It's just too much invested, and right now ThunderTalk is on a position. If ever Nova goes for the overextension, they understand that Neon doesn't have the flash.
Yeah. Look at how slow the game is going, and slowly the resources are creeping up to the hands of ThunderTalk. And this is what they want. They need to get as much resources as they can and choke out the resources from the hands of Nova. And that is their game plan. As much as they can, they need to get this goal lead or into 3K or like to 5K. 3K to 5K is a good start for ThunderTalk Gaming. But Nova, what they can do is just to let them do what they want here on the side of ThunderTalk Gaming for now. Because once they get to the 10-minute mark and they get the second item that they need, that could be a good spot to fight in the second objective.
Yeah, and in this stage, in this case, Yitze thus far has no damage onto the Aatrox already. When you saw that little bit of engage coming into the top side of the map wherein Aatrox was going in for the minions, Yitze was trying to hit on Aatrox and there was absolutely no damage. And this is at that stage wherein ThunderTalk really wants Aatrox to excel, wherein Sin could just be left alone and he will just bring fear to the eyes of their opponents.
Yeah, whenever he gives C this Gwen, he really knows how to play his advantages whenever he's using it, especially in the mid lane. Really surprised how effective he becomes whenever he's using the Gwen. And that's why this is one of his very big pocket champions that he used. But again, looking at the fight right in the top side, this is not gonna end. This fight is just gonna happen. One's gonna be healing, the other's still gonna be healing. But Yitze, you can see the disadvantage right there in this battle.
It's a one whole level advantage for Sin. That's the scary part. It's a level 10 Renekton up against a level 11 Aatrox.
Yeah, that's why he's just winning, brute forcing his way out of these minions that we have. And even if they don't have vision on this side of the map, he's still confident that he would be able to get away. Objective is there, and what he did there was very smart. Yitze on the top side, he's a bit too late for this objective.
Yeah, and Sin also going in for the zone. They have sights on long.
Yeah, they still have it on their side, even putting the Rift Scutter in their favor, just for them to get the extra vision and even the extra mobility to their side, and that's where they're gonna pull them back. Goes in, goes for the 2 knockup, backside though, look at Z, doing the damage and the needlework to end their lives. Remake is gonna be next, but Neon is in front. A Sanguine Pool is gonna be buying them some time, but it's not gonna work. Right now onto the back line, we still have somebody. Shin right here was able to get the knockup and was able to push them back. Remake is not gonna get any kills right there, but that blade, that boomerang could have been the end of them. And this knockback's Remake, they still want to end their lives though. Z's gonna go in, he still has a miss, and it's still not gonna work for Remake because that's gonna be an ace for ThunderTalk.
An ace secured by ThunderTalk. They get a lot of kills and the objective is open. An Ocean Drake and a turret into the bottom lane. But did you see how Chenzi played that fight? It was so good. He was able to go in for the 3-man knockup up against their opponent. If you're looking back at the replay, like look at their positions here. They went in for the Call of the Forge God first. That set up the plays for Chansey. And look at the triple man knockup that he did. That opened up the position where in Soil and X-Buy was just free hitting onto the backside. And Sin was zoning away Yeats as well. It was just so clean. It was so good by ThunderTalk.
The knockups from Chenzi during this whole fight was massive. Honestly,
Right?
whenever he does that, that's the reason why they were able to win. And I am really surprised that this is not working in their favor. But from what we've seen here, this was just a massacre for ThunderTalk. And that's why they were able to work their magic all throughout that whole battle. And the presence of mind that this squad have, whenever they call for the kills, they're not gonna hack on the objective. They just went in for the kill. And Sus is gonna be used. I think Z might be able to get the kill here.
Wow.
Another needlework might be used. Was able to flash away, and Neon survives.
Oh, if that Scissors had an extra length, Yitze.
Yeah, that's gonna be another kill onto this side. And this is just another advantage given to ThunderTalk.
There's no breathing room for Nova. Every single time that Nova wants to go in for farming, wants to just play it a little bit more patiently, ThunderTalk just pounces on them, and now the Baron is open.
Yeah, they have objectives on their name. Yami's gonna be their first target. They don't care if that's a tank. They're gonna be killing anybody in their sights. That's gonna be the first one. Neon's gonna be next. They have the on the hunt on their side, but they're not gonna follow through. They still want to take that Baron.
Yeah, loss still available into the side of Nova, so that is an opening. But from what we're seeing, Chenzi could deny it, could zone away Long. They could turn around.
Long has the onslaught of the shadows, still 3k HP, a bit too early, and that's gonna be it. Baron's gonna be taken, and Nova has nowhere to go. This game is done. It's an 11k gold advantage with the Baron on their name. Yitze, he just was revived just a while ago, and he's dead again.
Let me run, let me live. But that's not gonna happen. Thunder Talk time and time again. And right now, history will repeat itself. Game number 1, this happened in game 2.
Oh, man.
They now have the Baron once again.
Yeah, Baron has been taken. They still have one member alive here. They still have the Nexus shields once this last tower is gonna be taken down. And man, oh man, this game is basically done. They just need to back away first. That miss is just so... That miss is just crazy whenever you see it, though. That's why Z was just able to run away unscathed.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Z, right? The thing about Z is how his champion pool works is just too massive. Like, we see Z sometimes going for the Zoe. We see the Gwen come through. There's just so much champions that he can play coming into the mid lane that he performs out of his mind. And just look at his performance coming to Gwen. 4-0-5 on a Gwen matchup against the Vladimir in the mid lane. Long.
Yeah, and now Long is going to be the first target. They're going to go for the tank Chen-Chi, but on the back line, though, we have Z. He's fighting against 2. He's fighting the damage. Z is still high HP, and he's fighting against 4 people, and he survives. He was so fed, and that's why he was able to survive that long. Gets the knock up onto the back, and that's going to be the end. That's going to be the win. Thunder Talk has the Baron. This game is done. Long knows the assignment. That's why he knows that he could just stay there because this game is done. It's a 2-0 for Thunder Talk.
It's done for. 2 waves are pushing in. There's the top side. There is the mid lane. And then you have the Baron buff on top of it all. It was just too scary. It was done. It was concluded. And once again, history repeats itself. Game 1, Game 2, a reflection of Thunder Talk's power into 2 of these games.
Yeah, Thunder Talk is just so good whenever you have this opportunities of advantage, and especially if you give them the early game advantage, that is when they shine the most. I'm really surprised about their first pick, but honestly, I'm now a believer of the Kha'Zix's third pick for their side, because I'm surprised they didn't pick the Hecarim for themselves, but it was a trap that they set for Nova Esports, and even if Long was playing well this game, everybody else wasn't able to follow through.
Yeah, and they're doing it like a double bluff here, right? They were going in for the Camille instead. They're going for other bans into the red side selection, which is surprising because traditionally we see that Hecarim being removed consistently every single time. And given how Nova hugely dependent onto Long, Hecarim will be a beast. But Thunder Talk really just knew the counter to it, knew how to play up against it, and look at the damage once again.
You know what?
5k damage for Long.
I'll be honest with you, Long is not doing well this past 2 games. 2k damage, 2,500 to be specific, and then 5,000. So we are going to be seeing 10,000 next game if we're going to be continuing the trend here for Long during the past few games. So I hope they give Long something that he would be able to use. Yes, there was some nerfs when it comes to the monster damage, but that is the biggest reason why Long isn't able to play champions that he's most confident with. We have seen Long play the Nilla. We have seen Long play the Yone. But right now, even the Jace is not available. That's why it's so hard to find a champion that fits him well here today, because most of the champions that he uses just got nerfed with monster damage. I mean, it's gonna be a bit slower when it comes to the clearing department, but in these types of games, especially when you're fighting a Kha'Zix, that might be life or death for a jungler in this competitive scene.
It definitely is. Okay, hold on. You know what? Nova is a late game scaling team. Maybe, you know what, game 4 they come back, reverse sweep? We don't know.
Let's see if that works though, because right now Chen-Chi, oh man, really surprised that Chen-Chi is the one playing for the team here on Thunder Talk Gaming side, and he is doing so well when the Ornn is open. And so far during the past 2 games, he was a big element to their success. An MVP, a very well-deserved one for Chen-Chi. The knockups, remember? Oh man, he's crazy. But again, everybody, we can take a short break. We're gonna be back in just a bit. See you guys.
Feel the thorns embrace. Death is in bloom. None will escape my grasp.
This will be quite the deadly spectacle. My home is in the cosmos, amongst my stars. Stars are not born, they are made.
And we are back for Game 3. We have seen the same formula from the last game. Game 2 and Game 1, almost the same. It's just a bit different because Game 2, it was utter domination for Thunder Talk. And now, let's take a look at what's going to happen for this next game. Would Nova be able to come back? I'm seeing the frustrations coming out from the faces of Nova Esports, so I hope they would be able to do better this time around.
Yeah, and it's really unfortunate. It's dreadful to watch up against one of the champions we've had back in the Horizon, I believe, or the Icons. right now, up against Thunder Talk with 2-0 start, and that will be really interesting how they're really able to adapt to situations, because if there's any team that could do it, it's Nova. And the thing is, we have a switch in sides.
Oh man, Thunder Talk on the blue side now. Looking at the bans that we're seeing, Kassadin is going to be banned again. They're hoping for a chance for that Akali to be available, but so far Akali is not going to be available. I mean, together with the Evelyn. Oh wait. There's a chance that Evelyn is going to be open. There's also a Kha'Zix bond. So, oh man, Evelyn is open, man. Evelyn. Is this?
Yeah,
I thought it was a trap.
Oh,
no, it's not. Thunder Talk is going to take the Evelyn themselves.
Oh no, this is going to be another layer of difficulty for Nova, because the thing is, Evelyn is just too strong in the jungle, map control wise, and even the potential to kill. It's too much.
Yeah, Renekton again available for their side of Esports, just gonna be taking it. And Yutze, especially with that easy lockdown in the early game, that's gonna be a good pick for their side. But with the Camille open, that's gonna be an easy combo for both of these two. Just easy lockdowns from the get-go is what they want in Nova.
Yeah, that's what they want. They could also pick up the Galio later on as their third pick. For the side of Thunder Talk though, they have the Sever.
Ooh.
They have the hover onto the Jax as well.
Ooh.
A difficulty over difficulty over difficulty. And yes, Nova was able to remove the Aatrox, but Thunder Talk with Jax on a similar fashion could just jump in onto a team fight. One counter strike could definitely just stun up the whole fight and change the tide in favor for Thunder Talk.
You know what? The biggest difference from back then, from the early days of League of Legends, remember, Renekton is always a counter to Jax, but recently, just because of what happened from the nerfs here and there, from patches here and there, Jax is such a safe champion in Wild Rift that even a Renekton could not pressure him that well.
Yeah, he'd definitely be. And Thunder Talk, expectedly, is they could do a ban onto Galio or a jungler to really just pressure more towards Long in this case. They could ban away the Lee Sin if they want to. They could ban away the similar champions onto that, because the thing is, they already have jungler for themselves. And Nova's target would now have to be the mid lane. They have to ban away these champions. Even the Gwen and even Zoe is open, and they're going to ban away the Lucian instead. So Thunder Talk could run it back with a Gwen mid lane.
Yeah. Now let's take a look at what they're gonna do here for... Ooh! Lucian is going to be banned again. They don't want to see that on the hands of Z in the mid lane. So they're going to be expecting a Gwen here for sure. For the side of Nova, or at least for the side of Thunder Talk, because that could be one of the best picks that they could have here for them to pick against this composition. Galio is going to be picked up, so easy combos here and there for Nova. So we're just going to be waiting for that last pick. Ezreal could get picked here by Remake. So they have a very safe lineup if that happens.
Yeah, very safe lineup. If ever, right now for Thunder Talk, their mid lanes, there's a lot of options for Z's champions here. And we've seen that support before by G2 Blacklist, but this time it's going to show up by Thunder Talk.
That could happen, but that could cost them the game here. Oh man, they really didn't have a lot of options anyway, but it could really work out. But I'm really excited in what their mid lane is going to be.
Yeah, and I think this will be a decent lineup. Actually, a good lineup for Thunder Talk, because we've seen G2 Blacklist play the exact draft that we've seen for the side of TT. They went in for the set and they have the Seaver. So when it comes to that aspect, it's really good. But Nova hovering onto the Ashe as well.
Really surprised that they have an Ashe on their side, because with this, let's talk about the composition that Nova concocted. They're going to all be basing on what the Vladimir could do. And that's not a good composition, because you're going to be lacking on the DPS department. Camille and the Renekton's damage is just going to be there, but not going to be that high, especially in a composition like this, that what Thunder Talk was able to do, because it's going to be real hard to stick on these targets because of the presence of the Sivir in their composition. So that's why here, their damage, their biggest chunk of damage is all going to come from the Vladimir. And it is gonna be hard if you're just basing your composition off of a Vladimir. Oh man.
Because traditionally as well, right? If you want to have that Ashe into the bottom lane along with the likes of Gragas or even Galio, you want a carry jungle. You want a carry mid lane to have the alleviations of lack of damage into the bottom lane. But this time around, Camille into the jungle, yes, you have so much utility innately onto Camille itself, but when it comes to the damage aspect, Camille's never going to carry lane.
Yeah, and it's also because of the nerfs before. I mean, during the start of Wild Rift, Camille was such a force. Camille was so strong, and that's why she got nerfs for nerfs. And for now, she's just a utility champion that you pick up for the Hextech Ultimatum, and that maybe a mid-tier damage, as I can say. So that's why here for the composition, it's gonna be hard to work around it. Thunder Talk has a way easier composition to pull off, especially that they were able to pick the Evelynn on their side. Evelynn is so strong. There's a reason why this champion is 100% presence in Wild Rift. It's because of how strong she is.
Yeah, pick band-wise.
Yeah.
If it's left open, it's going to get picked up.
Yeah.
So that is something that Thunder Talk was able to utilize. And going back into the bottom lane that we've had, the thing about the composition of Thunder Talk is that they want to stack these champions on top of each other for Nova. And that is the reason why, if ever since, or well, rather, even if the Gragas is left open, Set would still be a much better option for Thunder Talk because you want to stack these champions. That is where the likes of Evelynn, that is where the likes of Sivir and Jax will come through when it comes to the coordination and chemistry of the champion coordination of the lineup of Thunder Talk.
Yeah, and also you can see the big difference of an Evelynn compared to a Camille, right, when it comes to the wave clear on the jungle. Just because of how strong the Evelynn is right now. She is just so good at doing that. Look at Chen-Shi, gonna pull back, gets another face breaker onto one, and they would force Remake to flash away, but Soil wasn't able to throw the boomerang in, and that could have been the very big advantage that they had here. Yami waiting for the Justice Punch, but they won't be able to reach it.
Yeah, that was so dangerous. If the Galio was level 3 at that point, Sivir would have been dead.
Yeah.
And that was just too dangerous going for the flash.
Oh, wait, what? Look at how scared he is. Long couldn't fight this for his life. Even Neon couldn't be able to help him. And he's just going to be taking it for himself. Goes in for the smite, and X-Buy still was able to get it in the end.
Oh, this is just so unfortunate because right now, this is what Long did in game number 1.
What?
Like hindering the possibility for experience in gold.
Wait,
right now,
too
X-Buy.
aggressive though, X-Buy. Now he's forced to flash. Yitze uses the slice and dice a while ago, goes in for the flash and gets the first blood for Thunder Talk.
That was so good. That's what we're talking about. Sin on the Jax. Yes, that is a defensive champion, but when it comes to the right moment, those counter-strikes deserve so much praise.
Yeah, look at the damage coming in from X-Buy this early in the game. Justice Punch is going to be used, but Z is going to be forced to flash. No more mana for the composition, and now, at it, we're seeing the damage. Long is just going to be taking this. At least that's a punish from the aggression from X-Buy a while ago.
But look at Soil getting free plays onto the bottom lane. You also have free gold and free XP. So right now, Thunder Talk, despite not being successful in taking their real Scuttler or when Nova was able to push them back, they're still on edge. They're still on a better position that Nova is at in 2 minutes.
Yeah, for now, from what we're seeing here, what they want to do here for Thunder Talk is just to have that safety in the early to mid-game stages of the game. That's why they need consistent damage from that Ezreal so that they would be able to contest these early game objectives. But it's not going to matter because of how strong Evelynn is. That's why his composition overall is just easy to maneuver around with. So from what we're seeing here, X-Buy being level 5, this is when you're going to see the ganks coming in for Thunder Talk.
Yeah, it will be. Right now, that level 5 situation is pretty much like the do-all be-all of the Evelynn. Once that happens, invisibility comes through. Map control becomes so much more for Thunder Talk, and even the map control advantage at that.
Oh man,
just because of the presence of Evelynn.
This is what we're talking about here. The Jax versus Renekton. Look at how the tables have turned from the seasons that came from League of Legends. And look at how strong a Jax is. Just getting that first advantage. Back in my day, it doesn't work like that. Even if Jax gets the first kill, Renekton can still fight toe-to-toe against him. But again, look at this utter domination in the lane. And look at how he's going to be able to try and kill this. X-Buy is around the area, forced to use the dominance, but they're not going to continue to fight here.
Yeah, you mentioned back in your day.
Yeah.
How old are you, man?
I'm so old, man. I'm so old.
You're so old. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. I am.
But-
I'm not gonna deny it.
You're not gonna deny it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh man.
old kid. No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Old man dash.
Old man.
Yeah. But again, from this game, Infinity, from what
Yeah.
we're seeing here, look at the rotations that they're doing here. 30 seconds on the clock. They want Soul in the mid lane just for them to have a great shove on that wave in the mid lane so that they can choose confidently on what objective they want to go for.
Yeah, and this is pretty much how it works. Like when it comes to these lane controls, having that extra push, having that fast clear off that wave for Thunder Talk as well, it delays the recall for the likes of Yami, for the side of Nova. It pretty much delays a lot of things. So this is pretty much the micro plays. And right now, Thunder Talk goes for the Rift Herald as a priority. They want that pressure.
Yeah, they want the pressure. This is why it's hard even for an Evelyn to be taking objectives by herself. It's because it's so hard to be consistent in that take. Oh, top side though. They already used their arrow. But nobody's gonna be helping out X-Buy, and Nova is still... Wait, what? This tower in the bot lane is just gonna be taken for free. And that's a first cert on the side of Thunder Talk Gaming, and they want to fight in this next objective. Shen-Shi would be looking... Oh wait, that tower in the mid lane is gonna be taken. But right now, Thunder Talk is still focusing on their farms here.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Thunder Talk already got the tower first blood. They had that huge gold injection already, and now Thunder Talk could focus on a Drake.
Yeah, Thunder Talk's going for the Drake. Nova is not going to be giving this for free. Still have a lot of chances to go for the steal here. Goes in for the Justice Punch right now. They're going to be starting it onto the back line. Look at that face breaker on the damage. Long will be trying to get this, and this is still going to go for the Thunder Talk side. That's going to be damage from their side. X-Boy is going to be flashing away, and Thunder Talk is just going to be running. Shin's going to be the target, but that hook shot wasn't able to hit, but Shin would be able to jump.
Oh, nice.
Leave strikes away. Yami's going to be there. Shield up the run. Goes in for the taunt, and they are just going to take 2 kills for free.
And that's good for Nova. They needed those kills. They needed value coming from Thunder Talk, and those 2 kills alleviate so much gold disadvantage coming from the early game. And it was so good. Like the lead strike was there, but the CC chain coming in from Nova, from Yitze, coming from Long as well, those single targeted became the detriment of Jax.
Yeah, that's going to be an opening here for their side though. This is going to be a big opening that Nova could utilize, especially they have a composition that could easily take down kills. They have a lot of single target CZs to work with, so what they can do here is to make use of this mid lane advantage that they got here, because as we said, mid lane is such a great objective that you should always take, because when you open up the mid lane, you open up yourself to more possibilities, especially for the ganks.
Yeah, you open up 2 objectives as an advantage, and you open up even your enemy's jungler to have your control. So right now that won't be as much of an issue given the fact that Thunder Talk has Evelyn. So that's something that we really have to take note of, that when it comes to that Evelyn pick, it's just so annoying to deal with just because of that invisibility over on the burst damage.
Yeah, you don't even see her around the map, and that's what's make it hard, especially in competitive scene. They're gonna be hitting Chen-Shi. They're not gonna be killing that guy. That guy's very tanky. Good thing Z was able to arc and ship away. Thunder Talk lives for another day.
Yeah, and the body block coming from Chansey as well.
Wait, what?
Playing for the team, a very team-centric player.
Oh no. That's gonna be it. Shin gonna be dead here. They have the ultimate on their side though. They're not have a way to go about this. Long is gonna be next. They have the damage on their side, and Chen-Shi is gonna be dying in the process.
Neon.
Right now they have the Hemo Plague on everybody. Neon was able to get some damage in. 2 low HP members. Right now Thunder Talk with On the Hunt are still confident that they can take this fight.
Look at X-Buy. Just waiting for the right time. Playing for the position game here. Could go in for the flank at the right moment. They could get those double kills if they want to. Just need this perfect time. But instead, with low HP already for his other teammates, he's not going to go for instant game.
Yeah, and now top side is going to be free. Doesn't have anybody to help them out. Oh no, Thunder Talk, especially their macro. It's not looking so great because Nova's just taking objectives left and right.
Yeah, they definitely do. Yitze jumps in.
Yeah, goes for the Sun. X-Buy almost died in process, but he still has his passive right here. But again, that tower in the mid lane is not gonna fall.
Yeah, it's not gonna fall. 1.2k HP, still hefty amount into the mid lane turret. But Nova has to be wary of that, because the winning condition of Thunder Talk is not the late game, not the early game, not even the mid game. their key coming to game 1 and game 2 is the Baron, so expect a similar matter coming into this game. If Nova is not worry enough and will belittle the potential of Thunder Talk once again, Baron could go down, and once again it will be a win for Thunder Talk.
Yeah, what's really scary about this is the double ADC composition that they have. Yes, they lost the Kha'Zix on their comp, but what's the next best thing? Having double ADCs and having an Evelynn on your team. And that's why it's going to be easier for them to take the Baron later on. And also, because you have to think about 2 ADCs on their side, it's going to be way harder to find a really nice target here. Because if you take down one, there's still another ADC. But on the other side, they just take Neon down. The damage from Nova is going to be fluctuating really fast.
We also have Long coming through as well. Dangerous position.
Ooh, Enchanted Crystal Arrow wasn't able to hit Yami. Without any vision, he was able to flash that away.
Yeah, and the thing is, there was pretty much 4 members from Nova who was looking to kill him. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow from Ashe, and you have 3 members as well, the jungler, the support, and even the Baron laner up against Yitze. And despite that, he was able to conquer. He was able to survive. Just speaking volumes on how good he is coming into those micro games. And now the Mountain Drake is open.
Yeah, Dragon's gonna be 5 seconds in. We're waiting for the Dragon to come out. Right now, Thunder Talk is already in position.
They're on position and they're waiting for the right opportunity. Xby is positioning himself for a flank.
Yeah, for now. Let's see what they're gonna do here.
Forward.
Thunder Talk, let's see what they're gonna do. Do have some damage for this side. But what we're seeing here, Thunder Talk is just pulling it back. Doesn't have vision on this side of the map. That's why they're confident that they would be able to take this. So Nova would be a bit afraid. Chen-Chi is just going to be pulling back. Chen-Chi is going to be their first target on their side. But that's going to be on their side. Nova was able to take it. And that's good. They have the last caress in the end. Chen-Chi is going to be their first target. Shin is going to be next. But on the backside, Yami was able to get the Justice Punch. Perfect timing right there. And Remake is going to follow through. There's no way for Z to go. Doesn't have the damage at this point in the game. And Nova was able to get the kill on them.
That Hemo Plague pretty much disintegrated the HP bars of Thunder Talk. It was too much damage, and at that point, when we were looking back at the replay, just look at the position of pretty much every single one of both these sides, because I think it's a really good position. And the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, as always, is too good for those long range engage. Look at Neon's Hemo Plague. If that connects, its Chansey goes down, and you have to follow through as well. Pretty much very coordinated overall for Nova. That just isolated and disassembled Thunder Talk.
Yeah, it's a good thing that Nova is making use of this against the members of Thunder Talk here. And right there, it's really working out in favor of Nova Esports here. So what they want to do here, they would just want to make sure that everybody's kept in check. And with the damage that they have, they don't have it yet. They need to get third items on their ADCs to be able to make this work. Baron is available, and from what we're seeing, Nova Esports is looking to try and conquer it. That's where they're positioning on the top side of the map.
Yeah, they have learned from game number 1 and game number 2 that Thunder Talk is so much of a favorite in Enchanted Crystal Arrow.
Yeah, got the damage on Shin. Have the counter strike. Have the damage just yet. They use it on the hunt already. They're going to be running away, and that gives the sign to Nova to take the Baron.
Right now, Baron will be open. They have so much information onto the pit as well. And right now, they're just going for the push. Chansey.
Wait, Chansey, that's going to be scary. Justice Punch is going to be used. They have the Haymaker. Goes into the back line. They're going to go in. The damage is going to be there. And Xby is going to be using last caress. Damage not going to be enough. Yeah. Right now, the ADCs are struggling on the side of Thunder Talk, but nobody died on that fight.
Scared for both sides, but the thing is, Thunder Talk got the tier 1 turret into the mid lane, so overall, much more value for the side of Thunder Talk.
Yeah, right now, Thunder Talk doesn't have a lot of HP on Shin. Yami wants to go for an engage. They got Z, and Z is going to be dead. That's a lot of damage from Nova, and that's one fight they used 2 Enchanted Crystal Arrows.
Yeah, that was too good, and that's just the power of utility here. Remake. Now, Nova's starting the Baron.
Yeah, Xby doesn't have any vision. 4 members still alive, 3k HP. They're going to be canceling the Baron. They're going to be looking on the other side. Chen-Chi is going to die. And that's why Thunder Talk is not going to have a great day here. This Baron is going to be taken for free. And Nova is going to be taking it right now. They have vision. They don't see where Xby is. Actually, they see him right now. And Xby looking for a chance, but it's not going to work.
That was unfortunate, because the thing is, Yami was looking for the eye to come through if they have sights or if Evelynn was nearby. That's why he did the Justice Punch, just to predict where he was. And that that was just unfortunate. The Scryer's Bloom was also hit, seen on X-Spy, and after that, it was no more chance for Thundertalk to take the bear.
Yeah, no chances for them to take it, and now Nova Esports would be able to do it on their own. Right now, this is working towards their favor. 3k gold lead, and so far, I haven't seen anybody, especially the ADCs, be able to deal the damage that we do expect from them.
Yeah. Well, considering with Ezreal's build, going for the Manamune, you also have the Iceborne Gauntlet. When it comes to the damage regard, it's not going to be as much. And Zimmer, coming into their game, also not much damage. So pretty much Thunder has to play it a bit more safe, has to play it a bit more scaling into the late game.
Oh no, let's take a look at it. That's going to be damage. Shenshi super low. Thought he's going to die, but I think he would actually from the Hemo Plague, and that is going to be it. They got the damage and they got the kill on the Shenshi from far away. And Nova Esports with the Baron and just powering through these lanes.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Like, where is X-Spy going? Flash.
Yeah, Remake's gonna go for it, and that's gonna be Lascaret gets the kill into the back line, but X-Spy is gonna be on the process of dying, and that's gonna be 2 kills on their side. Z is gonna be able to go there. That's not gonna work. Z is gonna be dead. That's gonna be on their side. Long is gonna go for the chase, but I think it's still gonna work out in the end here for their side, and they're just gonna be pushing their towers, and that's gonna be Thundertalk losing control of this game.
Yeah, they lost control. Neon was forced to be pushed back, but Inhibitor Turret already fell down on top side of the map. So Nova Esports at this point, they already got so much value out from the Baron. And now the Ice Drake is also open.
Yeah, and this is it. They're going to be taking the Dragon on their side. And from what we're seeing, really a good spot to be in for the squad. Now what they could make use of this advantage is going to work for Nova Esports. I mean, they got the second Dragon, not a soul. So it's still a good spot for Nova.
Yeah, it's still a good spot. It's an extra buff that they will be able to utilize. And we have to consider that the thing is, Nova is already at 7k gold lead at this stage. And that is massive. When we're talking about the possibility of Neon's damage to be that huge dependency of Nova, given how much utility-centric their composition is, he's able to fit that role perfectly, just given the items that he has. Infinity Orb, you also have the Rabadons, you also have the Crown. There's just so much damage with defensive capability as well to deny the initial engage for Thundertalk.
Yep, and for now, Thundertalk really struggling in that department, and also because they don't really have a lot of ways to peel for their ADCs, because whenever it comes down to it, Shenxi's just going to use the Showstopper and just get pushed onto the back line, and that's why it's so hard for them to find any opportunities to make the ADCs confident on taking those battles.
Yeah, and given how we mentioned a while ago, right? Iceborne Gauntlet for Z, and it's something that will not give you as much damage, but I think what Z wants is to play it for a bit more sustain, right? Just because you have that extra armor, given how 4 members of Nova is pretty much AD. But the thing is, Nova now starting the Baron.
Yeah, starting Baron, they have it on the hunt, they don't have vision, they're gonna go for Chenchi again. Long is gonna be able to deal so much damage, and that Meteor Enchant is gonna be enough for them to finish a kill. And Nova right now has advantage. Thundertalk doesn't deal anything right here, and that's why it's super hard for them to do something. Right now, X-Spy would just go and try for them to deal damage here, but so far, it's not working out in their favor. 3k HP, still have X-Spy, they don't have vision on him. That's why they're hesitating to go for the take here. Right now with 2k HP, that's gonna be it. That might be the end, and they tried to go for the end, but it's not gonna work out. They were able to get the kill, and right now they're gonna follow through. Soil is gonna be here. Long is gonna be their target, but hook shots away. And they still got the Baron on their side. Shin, too confident. Yami is gonna be taken down here. Shield of the Run is gonna be used. They got some HPs, and the fight is not working out for him.
Still on a cooldown, but Sin still going through.
Yeah, looking at it. Sin, okay, they're gonna go for the Barret, for the Elder Drake here, but they're gonna be pushing back Long as much as they can. They don't have a jungler, so this is still a very hard fight to take for their side. Nian's gonna follow through. Don't really have enough damage at this point. He's trying to take the risk here to deal damage on Z. What a great transfusion, and now that might be the end. Soil doesn't have any damage, and he's gonna be ended. Thundertalk are gonna be losing this next game, even with a 4k gold lead. With the Elder Baron, this game's done.
There's no more chance. Z was brought down to 1 HP. Sivir fell down right after. Neon's damage is insane. And now Nova has the Baron. They have the Elder Drake, so they could definitely put this into an end if they want to.
Yep, that's gonna be the game right here. Right now, Nova is looking to go for that end. And with what we're seeing here, this is gonna be what they're looking for. That arrow is not gonna be hitting. And so far, they're gonna be struggling here, but on the back line, they're gonna look for it. But XY wasn't able to go for the hit. And now even with that, Last Caress is gonna be used, but he's gonna be killed in the process. Right there onto the back line, they're gonna be denying the minions from going through. But that Elder Drake buff is gonna be ending them. And as we've said, Thunder Talk, that game wasn't able to deal any damage. And that's why here we've seen Nova take the win.
Yeah, and we asked for Nova to be the one who has no damage at all, given how much utility was in their draft. But the thing is, Neon did his role perfectly from that game, and this time around, it was Thunder Talk who had no damage from that game.
In the first place, I was surprised about that setback. I mean, he doesn't really have a lot of options anymore, but I remember there's a Gragas that is available that they could utilize during that game. I'm surprised about the set because they weren't able to make use of the set during that whole game because most of the time, he's dead. And that's why he wasn't able to actually work out or at least peel his teammates from the back line. And that's why it's so hard. But again, Thunder Talk wasn't still able to deal damage because their ADCs are lacking on that department that game. And they were taking a long time. And that time was enough for Nova to finish the game.
Yeah, like Sivir had 3 items already. He had the Bloodthirster, I believe the Novari Quick Blades as well. It's there. You also have another item built. But the thing is, it's still not enough.
Yeah.
Sivir, one step onto a team fight, when Neon gains access, one transfusion could end his life. And the other thing is, Z also built into a Muramana, and you also have the likes of the Iceberg Gauntlet, which doesn't really shout damage.
Yeah, and what's so hard about this though, especially for the whole composition overall here for their side, I thought it could work out in the end there, but this is one of the things that is very apparent to most of the teams that we have here whenever they're picking up a lot of champions that deals so much damage. For example, picking up full double ADC together with an Evelynn on your composition, you're gonna be lacking on the CC department. And that's what's happened in this game. Yes, they are dealing damage this game, but it was not enough because they weren't able to at least peel them out of CC on the Vladimir. That's exactly what you need whenever you're fighting a Vladimir. You need massive CC because you're stopping him from using the Sanguine Pull.
Yeah, and in addition to that, the thing is, there are a lot of situations that Nova was on the brink of that for a lot of their champions, but Thunder Talk was not able to clean that. It was really unfortunate to look at. And time again, they have the Evelynn in their composition, but they were not able to really come through into those matches, into those team fights, and excel with XBY being onto the role of a huge damage dealer for the team. It's because he was consistently playing for flanks. He was consistently playing for the waiting game, for the objective, which is not exactly what you want, given how you have the likes of Sivir, the Set, and the Jax in your composition.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that happened in this game because they really didn't have any way to defend the Evelynn or at least help out the Evelynn whenever they're trying to take a fight because they didn't really have access to CC to stop Long from getting a Hextech ultimatum onto the backline. So their backline is always left open. And when that happens, that gives Long this MVP, like what happened this game.
Yeah, it was too good. Long was always the consistent starter and the catalyst for those engaged for Nova Esports, so definitely well-deserved MVP title. Consistently, Nova has just huge dependency on Long as a player every single time.
Yeah, and that's why here, Nova is gonna go for the lengths. A 2-1 advantage. We're gonna take a short break, guys. See you guys in just a bit.
This will be quite the deadly spectacle. My home is in the cosmos, amongst my stars. long. They are made by me.
菜呢？
Feel the thorns embrace. Death is in bloom. None will escape my grasp.
This will be quite the deadly spectacle. My home is in the cosmos, amongst my stars. Stars are not born, they are made by me.
We're back to game 4 and Nova is looking like doing a comeback this game. They were able to get the one game against Thunder Talk, and this will start the comeback for Nova Esports.
They were able to take a win. They were able to snag a dub up against Thunder Talk, wherein it was an expectation that Thunder Talk will have a possibility to really strong hold coming through to that following games, but Nova, we slightly hinted a bit that, you know what, they're late game scaling, so they can still make it back.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but it was a good win from Nova.
Yeah, I mean, for Nova, it was really important for them to actually take that win. But now we're back on the same spot in where game 1 and game 2 was won by Thunder Talk. So it might be a different story. Now they banned the Evelyn because they know it wouldn't work in their hands. That's very smart, though.
It definitely is. Thunder Talk has been winning onto the red side selection, and they banned away the Evelyn. That is something I believe is the most smartest way to do, because Xbox was not able to perform coming into this champion, and they do not want to leave it open for long.
Yeah, I mean, if ever it's open again for long, that gives them an option to go for the carry junglers. They even banned the Camille on their side, so they're losing a lot of the options here and just letting the Hecarim be open on both sides. I mean, it's not really that bad for Thunder Talk Gaming to just let that open, because a while ago that Hecarim wasn't able to be effective during that last game. But Nova right now, they're looking to get that support first on their side. They could definitely take away on what support Shenxi wants, because we've seen him at his worst. It was last game, and that was on a set.
Yeah, And definitely right now, when it comes to these first rotations for Thunder Talk, they could pick up the Ornn. Because this is one of the strongest champion coming from Chansey as well, given the performance coming to Game 2. They banned away the Kassadin, so this is also a signal that Thunder Talk wants to go for an AP mid lane if ever we're gonna go for it. And Vladimir is one of the best options right now that Thunder Talk has used in the past, and they could use once again. Gwen is also open for Z.
Oh no. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be an option for them. That's gonna be a Sivir open, and Ezreal is also open, but Thunder Talk is still going back to the Sivir, where Soil was the one using it to their side. And Aatrox being open for Shin. This is basically what happened during the past 2 games that they won, and they want to get that back.
Yeah, and this is always a disastrous combo, right? Having the Aatrox and also having the Sivir, just because it gives you so much mobility. And if Aatrox is fed too much, that will be such a huge disadvantage for Nova Esports. So this is a good first 2 picks for Thunder Talk, but right now that leaves Kha'Zix open for Nova.
Yeah, leaving that open for Nova is not going to be a good sign for them. Because so far, Kha'Zix is going to be taken by Long, and that is the closest thing that you could have for a carry here for the side of Nova Esports, and letting that be open, that's going to be good. But right now, Renekton is still open. Ornn is going to be back on the hands of Nova Esports, and no choice, Xby is going to be taking the Hecarim.
Yeah, and this is also good and bad, because the thing is, Nova Esports was able to deny the Kha'Zix and the Ornn as well, so this will not be something that Thunder Talk will be able to use. And remember Chansey's performance on the Ornn, how Xby was able to take so much objectives with the Kha'Zix, and now, what would Thunder Talk do?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions that we need an answer for here in this squad, because so far, oh man, this is gonna be hard, because the Ashe is gonna be banned because it was so hard to deal with a while ago. And Vladimir could also be one of the options that they take out here for Thunder Talk, just for them to not let Neon pick the champion that he almost picked every time for this past few games.
Yeah, and right now there are a couple of options here. Thunder Talk could deny the Vladimir, given
gonna take the Vladimir.
mid lane is open. And the thing is, this is still a mono composition wherein it's full of AD champions and they need that burst damage. So Vladimir will be open for them to pick up.
Yeah, they will have a Vladimir here, because based from what we're seeing, an Ashe and a Zoe being banned. There you go.
Move.
That's a good answer, Nova. Banning that Vladimir just so they wouldn't be able to pick it on the other side. And now Galio is going to be picked here. No choice, at least for Chenji. That's why he's going to be picking this up.
Yeah, it's clever for Nova. We have read your moves, and we're going to ban it away. And Thunder Talk, coming into their Gragas pickup, this will also be really amazing. Given how Chansey performed on the Ornn, that could be reflected and mirrored onto a Gragas pick. And this time around, they will be able to have the possibility of the deny of that isolation as well, if played right on the explosive cast onto those team fights, which they desperately needed in the prior game.
Oh man, and now this is gonna be it from what we're seeing. Corki, also one of the picks that you should be able to pick up if ever you want to be that confident. This is Corki together with a Zeri, double marksman on their composition. Remember, Lucian is available. Z could pick that up, or even a Gwen could be a good pick here for the squad.
How about Orianna though? I think Orianna could also be something if they want to, but as we have mentioned a while ago, we're just doing some theory crafting here when it comes to these champions, and Gwen is one of it that we have mentioned a while ago, on top of Vladimir, on top of the Zoe possibility. So expected is there, but Dash, the draft of Thunder Talk in this game is on a whole nother level.
Yeah, it's way better than what they did during Game 3, because Game 3 was a lot of wrong decisions altogether. Having a set together with a composition that doesn't really have a lot of solid CC that they can work with. Now this is way better. They would have a lot more decent DPS, and they would be able to tank up a lot of damage. But on the side of Nova Esports, it's also a good spot to be in for the squad here. And what they can do here for the squad is to just make sure that this double ADC would be able to work.
Yeah, it definitely is, right? And one of the disadvantage now that we're talking about these compositions, these back and forths, is that when the mist activates, that will be such a hard time for Zeri and Corki to be able to gain access to him. So that is something that Nova Esports has to play around, has to really formulate their decisions well, because if it comes down into that final straw, once again, you still have the Sivir, Hecarim, Aatrox availability for the likes of ThunderTalk that they could go in for those engage, gain access on the Corki, and Zeri. That will be the end of them. On top of that, a Gragas is also available.
Yeah, and now with the Gragas available, this will be way easier to have, at least to cancel out the Ornn from using an ultimate confidently. And that's what they want to do here. But again, this is where they're gonna go here. So we're gonna be seeing Neon again fighting against Z in the mid lane. And I hope to see some magic from Z again with this Gwen.
Yeah. And it's just Z playing on Gwen, especially from game 2, was too good. And that was, I believe, up against Zeri as well into that matchup, along with Vladimir, I believe. So it's really, really good. Z knows how to play this champion like the back of his hand, so that will be something of an expectations here for ThunderTalk coming into this matchup. Just when it comes to those early games, not going to be as easy.
Yeah. Now from what we're starting here, decided ThunderTalk, what they want to do here is to just make sure that they have the game in their favor as much as they can, not giving stability to the members of Nova Esports, because Nova has a lot more capabilities of doing damage in the early stages of the game, because you expect the Kha'Zix to be able to get clears early in the game and be able to take the objectives. So that's what they want to do here.
Especially at level 5. When that level 5 reaches, Kha'Zix will unlock a whole nother level of damage as well. And if played onto his passive as well, under those isolations, maybe on top side of the map and even mid lane, that could definitely work in favor of Nova Esports. They just have to balloon that advantage that they were able to take, because they did it in game number 1. Azong went in for the invade. They went and got a lot of advantage, especially up against XBuy. They just have to replicate that, but not make mistakes.
Yeah. Now from what we're seeing here for... Oh, wait, what? They're already starting the fight now. Look at the confidence. Two flashes already happened. Now that's going to be good. At least they know that 2 members of ThunderTalk doesn't have any flashes anymore.
Yeah. It's too much investment. I think they went overboard. Yes, just the look of XBuy in front of you is such a hefty meal for ThunderTalk, but using 2 flashes in 2 minutes is not exactly the best option. And yes, when it comes to the first objective, it will come back up, but this will negate them the possibility of a lot more opportunities into this point, 2 minutes into the first objective.
Yeah. Oh no, this is gonna be bad though, Infinity, because from what we're seeing here from the game, Nova Esports are just starting to take over this early stages of the game, just because they are getting long on a very great spot. And when you don't pressure this guy as much as you can, oh man, he's gonna do magic for the team here.
He will be. He will be. He's just going to just bring out a bunny out of his hat, or what, a trump card out his sleeves. It's just too much. Like, especially if Long is given a lot of space, he knows how to play it. He has played Nilla in the jungle, and he has waited for 15 minutes before he starts up his first gank, his first engage. And that is something that Long can do in those long games.
Yeah. And for now, we're still seeing it. Very slow game for both sides. 2 minutes is gonna be when the fight is gonna be starting. So far, based on the fast 3 games that we had, we're seeing your XBuy struggling on the first objective, and that's what Nova is super good at, capitalizing on those hesitants coming in from ThunderTalk Gaming. And so far, it has been doing good for the squad here.
It definitely has been. And right now, Long is already at level 6, and expectedly, it will be XBuy who has unlocked his ultimate as well. So coming into this fight, expect a possible gank coming from Long into the bottom lane pretty soon in a couple of seconds. If not, that could be an opening for ThunderTalk to do the same thing in mid or bot lane.
Yeah, so far it has been starting to look like they're gonna be taking over the map soon enough. But this fight in top lane is not gonna end soon. It's always just gonna be like this. So for now, without any kills from both sides, this is just gonna work out for Renekton on the top side, because as we do expect, that's what they want. That's the reason why they pick the Renekton every time. It's because they want that easy early game, or at least an accessible CC that they can work with.
Yeah, and the thing about Renekton versus an Aatrox matchup, it's Renekton who will have that innate advantage early game with just the outright raw strength of the champion, but in addition to that, the mobility. Once you go in with the wrong movement from Aatrox, going in for a skill that puts you at a disadvantage going for those knockups, Renekton could just swiftly move to the right, CC you, and deal damage. And that is the detriment that Aatrox has to face consistently on top side of the map.
Yeah, especially if you're using plated seal caps every time here. What you want? Oh no, Remake won't be able to make the back on time though. That's not gonna be good for their side now. Thundertalk, those micro movements that they did there gives him an option to just take the Rift Herald just because they're now a bit late on that rotation.
Package will be available though, for Nova, expectedly. But 1-for-1 objective trade, I think Thundertalk really just respects still the possibility of those takedowns.
Yeah,
right now,
that's gonna be easy take for him. He's just gonna be using the onslaught of the shadows to run away. With On the Hunt on their side, that's gonna be a call. And what was that? Chenshi had a good explosive cast there just to stop the engage on Nova.
Yeah, it's a back and forth, and this is what we're talking about, right? Oh my! And that,
ooh, they're gonna be using it. They're gonna be going for the damage. They're gonna go for the fight. Right now, Shin is just regenerating. Neon is still not stopping on the onslaught. Goes in for the slow. Right now, Shin doesn't have the ult anymore, so he can back away now.
And that, my friend, is why you want mobility up against Aatrox. Just going for those side steps time and time again. With that said, Shelly being spawned into the mid lane gives that third takedown to Thundertalk.
Yeah, and now there's not really a lot of options for the squad now. So with that tower in the mid lane, that gives options to Thundertalk to just move around the jungle that they have. That's what you like. The map presence that you will have here is going to be massive for Thundertalk.
It definitely will be, right? Especially given how this game will now revolve around how Xby will start these fights, how Gragas will as well will follow through, and how the shifts and the laning phase has pretty much ended, right? You want to now start up these ganks, wants to start up this fight, especially how Thundertalk has played in game number 1 and game number 2. Expectedly, they want to accelerate. They want to gain a lot of these advantages coming down into that Baron that will come out pretty soon.
Yeah, Long is going to be taking at least a chip damage on the objectives here from their side using the Ghost. He's going to be running away. Flash is going to be used. Yitsa is going to be next, but it's a good thing they have the Slice and Dice and all getaway cards on their name.
And just imagine, that's a blue buff for a Flash. Neon in danger.
Yeah, they're not going to be engaging here. They're just going to be taking some plates before they back away because the plates are going to be expiring soon.
Yeah, and going back, blue buff went to Long in trade for his Flash, and I don't think that's a good trade. And that's really unfortunate overall. Now Thundertalk has the innate advantage coming into the following minute to come. Just given that Long has lost his Flash will really disrupt and be a hindrance to the
oh yeah, they saw a remake.
Spy.
They're gonna be starting the fight here. They're gonna be pulling them back a bit. Yitsa is gonna be forced to use the Dominus this early. Now that's gonna be it. Nova is just gonna be pulling back now because Dominus is out.
Yeah, and the thing is, Long's nowhere to be found as well. So this is pretty much a 2v2 isolated case if ever they want to go for all in, but opts to not go for it.
Yeah, for now, from what we're seeing here, oh man, we still don't have any kills on both sides. We're yet to get our first blood. That first objective didn't get us our first blood, but at least first turrets have been taken down already, and Thundertalk already has 2.
Yeah, and that will give them so much advantage, especially it is revolving around the top side of the map and the mid lane. And you know what that means? It's pretty much a complete advantage onto the Baron split because now Nova has to really take quite some time to be able to go back to safety.
Yeah.
Z
already starting. Z not gonna die from that though. They still have the needlework on their side just for them to push back this wave and not let Nova be confident in taking this. Oh man, this is just too good from what we're seeing here from their side. Especially for the side of Nova Esports, what they want to do is just to take this blue buff. But for now, top side of the map, very clear. And also, they just don't want Nova to take cover or at least take that easy Baron once they go to level to 12 minutes because they can easily do so. They have 2 ADCs, they have a Kha'Zix, but because of this map advantage for Thundertalk, it's going well for them.
It definitely is, especially given how thus far, every single action of Thundertalk is leading for that Baron objective advantage, right? Even if they don't take it down, that will just also pressure Nova Esports on what they can do, because right now they don't have complete access and complete control over the left quadrant jungle and the Baron's pit.
Yeah, and for now, they're just gonna be pushing back on this. Oh wait, he used his smite. He has 15 seconds on this smite though. So with that, that could be an opportunity for Thunder Talk to do. But they also have a package on hand on Remake, so they still have advantage here if ever they try to start this.
Are ready. Ultimate of Xby is ready. So when it comes to these engages, Thunder Talk could just play patiently and not force it.
Yeah. And for now, Remake is just going to be using this just to push him back. And they're already starting because they know they might be starting soon. That's going to be it. Packaged onto the backline, so it was able to flash away. Right now, they're going for damage. Z is trying to at least push everybody away with the damage that he can deal here. With the needle work right now, Long might be dead. And they would be able to take it in the end. It worked out in the end for them. Thunder Talk was able to get it. And that is going to be good for the squad here.
And that's too much. It's a buy one, take two free for Thunder Talk. They were able to take the objective, and they were able to take 2 kills away from that engage. And right now, they're poised in a position of advantage up against Nova Esports.
Yeah, they could be able to take the towers on the top side of the map, but let's take a look at their replay again.
Yeah, and once again, we have emphasized the patience game that Nova can do. And X-Bike coming at the right time with the onset of shadows into the back, along with how Thunder Talk went in for the engage, chased down onto Remake. It was pretty much Nova who was dismembered.
No! That was just unfortunate though, man. Oh man, that blast cone just killed Remake. And now they got 2 kills out of that. The first 2 kills that we had in the game. Can't believe that's the first blood. And again, 6.5k gold lead just out of this advantages per advantages that they get. They just get towers and just get the gold lead. And that's going to be a massive advantage unless Nova would be able to get the kills themselves.
It is a massive advantage. Right now, Thunder Talk should play towards the Baron, not like this, Sin.
Yeah, that's going to be a kill. Shin is going to be killed right down the top side of the map. Still not a Baron on site. So what they're going to do here for the side of Thunder Talk is just pressure Nova. Might be able to just put a bit of that on their side and put themselves on the top side of the map and maybe take this Baron.
Yeah, and that's definitely not something that you want, because now Thunder Talk is on a numbers disadvantage. So when it comes down to it, they have to turn to Nova.
Yeah, all restarting. Have some damage on their side. They're going to be pulling them back 4v4. There's no member. There's going to be a 4v4. Their Baron laner is on the bot side of the map, taking down towers for himself. And right now, it's not going to continue on. The hunt was used already. So Nova is confident that they can take the members of Thunder Talk in the battle if ever they need to.
Oh, Yummy.
Gets a knock up on 2. Backline lost out of the shadows. Goes in for the Fear Guard. Going enchant to take some time. But that's again going to be a kill. Yes, it's going to be next. They're not going to be able to follow through. Shin, it's a bit too fast. Neon, a lot of damage onto him. He's going to be pulled back. And that's going to be a kill. Thunder Talk is going to be going for it long. It's trying to get the kill on Chen Shi. But Shin is going to follow through. They have a leap. They're going to be leaping to the other side. And Thunder Talk is going to be taking this Baron.
Yeah, now Thunder Talk could fully commit onto the Baron as well. They have Chensi, they have Z, all on half HP. They pretty much have the HP advantage as well. The numbers game in their favor, so Baron will be open.
Yeah, 5k HP. They don't know that they have vision here. Long might be able to take this. Shin is going in. Remake's gonna fall. Still have 3k. Long already used his leap. So this is not going to be a good chance for him. He still has the Edge of Night. And now he's going to be pushed back. Look at that. Explosive gas to push him in. And this is going to be bad. Outside of Shadow to use. And that is still going to be a Baron take for the side. And Thunder Talk takes it.
A picture-perfect coordination coming in from Thunder Talk. The body slam came through. The explosive cast isolated. Long wanted to escape to go into the Baron. But the onslaught of Shadow feared him. So it was too good of a chemistry coming in from Thunder Talk. But Sin in danger.
Lightning Flash was used. Force the flash out. And Shin is still confident that he can take them in a fight. Just put some pressure on the top side of the map so that the wave is going to be pushing.
Yeah, the wave's going to be pushing. Sin can also just play it a bit more safer. With the Baron buff, he could just give the minions the Baron empowered buff. But at this point, it was just too good. But Thunder Talk now wants to push it, wants to end it.
Yeah, what's so hard about playing against, say, Sivir is also because of the extra mobility that you get whenever you go for the fight. And that's why Thunder Talk is just so confident in taking these battles, especially if they know that they can run away. And also, what's great about having a Sivir is the massive wave clear that she has. Yami's going to be killed on the bot side. And this is going to be a tower takedown bot side of the map, and they're going to be transitioning to the mid lane.
Oh my. On the hunt with Baron empowered minions. Too quick, too swift, also tanky as well. But like, who can stop the minions? The minions itself is too tanky to be able to demolish that easy for Nova.
Yeah, Nexus shields are going to be up. And that is going to be a lot of members on the top side of the map. X-By just putting pressure on the bot side. Remake was forced to flash away. Genji's almost dead, but Neon is going to be flashing, and this tower is going to fall. They have the Baron buff, and it's hacking towards the turret. Long could be killed. 1 HP, was able to back away, and that's going to be it. This is going to be game, and Thunder Talk is going to take it again.
They're back on their forms. They're back on their A game. What a performance that Thunder Talk showed us. Once again, stating and supporting the idea that their winning condition is Baron every single time.
Yeah, every time that they end the game, they always have a Baron. And that's what you want to happen, especially for a team like Thunder Talk. What they want to do is get objectives as fast as they can, and whenever they're given the chance, they are just going to pounce on it. The only problem that I've seen from Thunder Talk Gaming is when they're fighting against this type of team that they concocted on the other side. Nova Esports really knows how to take their first objectives. They're so good at that. But when it came down to them just trading objectives, Thunder Talk had the better end of the stick there, because they know when it comes to team fights, team battles, they know that they're going to be winning.
Definitely so. And you see that, right? Coming into the first objective, as you've mentioned, right? They're able to really have that power being shown up against Thunder Talk. But second objective, third objective, that's a whole different story that Thunder Talk was just really able to excel. And I think that is the aspect wherein Thunder Talk really shines the most. The ability for them to snowball the game out of proportion. The first things first, they got the Rift Herald, and then next thing second, Ice Drake. Baron came out right after because they got a numbers advantage, wherein Nova really wanted to face check onto the Baron's pit because there was no information. And that was just the detriment, that was just the loss Nova mistook into that game.
There was a lot of stuffs that I'm really surprised that Nova are taking. And honestly, one of those is how they don't really have enough to work with, even if the composition really says so that they should have a lot of damage. But this composition wasn't really able to deal much. I was expecting a lot from the Zeri and even from the Corki this game. So far, they haven't been able to make that work this game. And Thunder Talk, especially when Z is using a Gwen in the mid lane, it's just an auto win for them.
Yeah. And the thing about Nova right now, what they have to change is to really adapt into the situation, because Thunder Talk really wants to end it 13 minutes, 15 minutes into the game. So right now, what does that state? They want to play it for early and not go for a late game comp.
Shin getting the MVP, very well deserved this game, because he was the reason why it was so hard for the backline to be able to get close, because whenever you try to get close, they're on the range of Darkened Blade. And he gets it whenever he gets an option to go, so he would be able to just go for it. And again, Thunder Talk Gaming, very different MVPs from the past few games. But again, this game is just done. We're still going to go for Game 5. We're just going to take a short break. Everybody, see you guys in just a bit.
Money talking, I'm already in the loop. Got my mind, yeah, shit, y'all blind to the truth. Sun and rain, sleet, snow, any weather. Just know if you can do it, I can probably do it better.
I will not be restrained. My potential is limitless.
We're heading to Game 5, and this could be actually the last game, or maybe we could go for more. So let's see if Nova would be able to make this a long series, or would Thunder Talk finish this here?
Hey, it will be really exciting, right? It will
Yeah.
be really exciting to see how this Game 5 would go, because we still saw, right, despite how Thunder Talk really dominating this series so far, having 3 wins already, 1 game away to taking the win overall, Nova still performed coming into game number 3, I believe. So they still have that chance. If ever everything comes right, if ever composition is well to their advantage, they could still bag a win.
Yeah, they would be able to try it this coming game around, because if we're gonna take a look at it, I think they're still gonna go. I don't know what side they're gonna go to, but Thunder Talk has been winning constantly on the red side. On the blue side, they lost their game. So I hope we could see a difference here if we want to see Nova go for a comeback in this next series.
Is that a formula, right? Thunder Talk
Yeah.
on red equals win. Thunder Talk on blue equals lose or loss or whatever.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Because it's surprising because their logo is colored blue. And they're losing on the blue side. So, I don't know. Maybe that's the contrast that they have as a team. So, let's go to the game and let's take a look at what side they're going to go for. Because for now, still on the same sides when it comes to the stage. But I hope that Thunder Talk doesn't make mistakes when it comes to the picks anymore.
Definitely is. And the thing is, the thing that we were fearing for Thunder Talk for, they're now going to the opposite side of these games. And the thing is, Nova on red side selection is a whole nother different team that we're talking about. How they performed going into that game number 3. It was clean, calm, and collected. So once again, if similar things happen, we can get history and bring this into a game 6.
Oh man, let's see how they're gonna be able to actually do that though. First, from this game, we're still not seeing the picks and bans, but so far, the story that we can talk about is how Thunder Talk Gaming, from the loss that they had from Season 1, now they're battling in the lower brackets because they had to face KBG. Oh man.
Yeah, they have to face KBG. And unfortunately, on that upper bracket run, it was not that smooth. So we'll see how this will turn. As right now, it's pretty much the battle of the fittest here, the survival of the fittest. Dreams will be crushed for one of these teams coming here into the CN conference.
Ooh, I'm kind of scared though. I'm kind of scared if ever that's gonna happen here today with Nova. Would their run be finished today? Or would it be Thunder Talk? Oh no! Gonna go blue side!
Yeah, it's Thunder Talk. Now on the blue side as Nova went to red. This is the thing that we were fearing for quite a bit a while ago. And right now, that will be something that Thunder Talk has to adapt to. If they could adjust right to their composition, now that they're on blue side, it gives them a lot of chance. But right now, it's a good call for them. Banning away the likes of Cassidy and Kha'Zix, but Evelyn will also be next. That is something that they do not want to use and do not want to give away.
Yeah, that's gonna be Evelyn. Kha'Zix was a headache during the last game, so they don't want that option to be available again. They could pick up the Hecarim first here for Thunder Talk, just for them to have a safe space. But they don't really need to pick up the Aatrox though, because the Yitze always picks the Renekton. So it's not a problem for them. Unless this game, it's gonna be a different.
Yeah, it will be interesting because from what Thunder Talk has been doing, it was very consistent. Aatrox and then Sivir. But yes, Hecarim is a much better option given the fact that you also do not have Kha'Zix already. You do not have Evelyn already. Camille and Shen is also removed. So that is a very good option for Thunder Talk. But this time around, Nova could deny these chances away from Thunder Talk.
Renekton is going to be picked again here. Nova is not stopping with that strategy. They just want Yitze to be comfortable with picking the Renekton every time. And Nova could even go their way to make Long pick the Aatrox. And even with the recent damage to Monster's nerf, it's gonna be okay. But they're gonna be picking the Ornn instead just to deny Chenshi his Ornn.
Yeah, and right now, if that happens, Thunder Talk could now go for Aatrox Sivir. And the thing is, yes, this will leave their ADCs. This will leave the carry potentials for Thunder Talk to go into the second rotations, wherein Nova could already go for the bans. But with the performance of Thunder Talk and the utility that Sivir has innately onto this champion itself, I think it's a good thing to bank on.
Yeah, I think so. They're gonna be picking this again. The Sivir and the Aatrox are gonna be good picks again, because it's so good whenever you have this three on your team. You have a Hecarim, you have a Aatrox together with a Sivir. It just makes it easier for you guys to just get close. The only champion that could finish the formula here is maybe even have a Sona on the last pick, and that would be the last spice that you need for that squad.
That's the last nail in the coffin. You're asking for you're asking for not just extra speed, you're actually asking for a Nitros in the backs of Aatrox and Hecarim, which at this point will be super fast already.
Yeah, it's gonna be bad here. It's gonna be hard. Let's take a look at this though. So with the damage that they could do here, the Yone, it's gonna be coming back, or it could actually be Neon's pick for the side of Nova.
That would be interesting, because right now, what could happen here is Thunder Talk could still go for Gwen, right? And Nova just has to, this has the possibility of going mid lane, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
They ban away the Gwen.
Because the Gwen isn't available anymore, it is probably going to go to Neon in the mid lane. They're just banning a lot of the options, because remember, if this is going to go to the mid lane, there's also a Vladimir that is open. They could ban it on the side of Thunder Talk and just let Z pick up a Corki or a Lucian, and that would already be a safe pick just for them to get their early game to their side.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, like, what could be a good option here by Thunder Talk? Because expectedly, if worse comes to worse, if push comes to shove, they could still go for Zoe if ever Nova really wants to go for a
Zoe's open.
Yeah, because it's a good thing, right? It's a good opener for them. This gives them extra CC. This also gives them a lot more potential to be able to go for those pokes. But this will hugely depend on what Nova's gonna kill.
Yeah,
gonna pick up.
It's a good thing that they banned the Morgana though. If they didn't ban the Morgana, Remake is known to play the Morgana just for them to support the Yone. But now Vladimir is also a pick that they could use here for the side of Thunder Talk, and Z is not gonna hesitate to pick that up.
Then go for Gragas, right? Gragas will be open for them. There are a lot of options, but Gragas, I think, would be so good because the thing about the composition for Nova is that they're pretty much all in.
There you go. Oh, yes. That's going to be what I want to see. Neon with a Zoe fighting against Z's Vladimir, and that jungle on that Yone back at it again. So again, everybody, the reason why people haven't been picking up the Yone is because of patch 4. During the recent patches, the Yone's damage to monsters have been nerfed, and that's the reason why people have been straying away from an Aatrox to a Jace to even the Yone, is because of that nerf. And now, push comes to shove, Long is still gonna go back to a Yone.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like it doesn't matter because the thing is, Nova's characteristic at this point in time and their attribute is always late game. It's always to delay, and ThunderTalk has been the counter to that, the kryptonite for Nova's playstyle, because Long really wants to play it on the long run, right? Well, that the pun is not intended, but you get the point, right? Long really wants to play on a prolonged matchup because when that time comes, Nova really landslide every single team they come across, and that's the thing. They have to reach that point. Now the question is on how they reach that occurrence wherein Long is already level 15, is already too much fed. When it comes to those fights, he just eviscerates every single one. They need to find a way, they need to find a key to be able to reach that point.
Yeah, the problem there is it's not going to be easy to farm it out anymore because of the nerfs recently. I mean, it's not that big of a nerf when it comes to base damage, when it comes to champions, but to monsters, that's what you want whenever you're picking a jungle Yone. You want to accelerate the Yone as much as you can. So what you want to do here for Yone is to maybe help him out in the early game, give him all the kills that you could need just for them to accelerate this Yone.
Yeah, definitely is. So that'll be one of the troublesome things that Nova has to think about. They have to think about it clearly if they want to have a chance to be able to make it back coming into this game, because their whole draft doesn't exactly shout the early game. Yes, you have the likes of Renekton. Yes, you have the likes of the Ezreal that could self-peel and that has the capability to survive on its own and has decent amount of damage coming into the level 1 to level 3. But coming into the mid-game, who's going to shine? Wherein ThunderTalk pretty much have every single tools to be utilizing onto the likes of Hecarim, Gragas. Even the likes of Sivir is there as well to accelerate Hecarim and Aatrox if ever it comes to that 5v5 brawl.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that they put Remake, or at least the Zoe, in the Dragon Lane. Because, man, against an ADC, this recently hasn't had the best of games. Because it could have been way better if they put that in the mid lane together with the Vladimir, because that would be way easier to play around with rather than this dual lane when you're a Zoe. I mean, before we've seen a lot of Zoes in the bot lane, but that was also on a time in where we had a lot of AP bot lanes. But right now, it's just going to be easy for Soul to just pressure this bot lane.
Yeah, it definitely is. It will be difficult. It will be difficult. That's pretty much the statement here. But the thing is, they have done it before, they have done it once, they could do it once again, and they really just have to play it slowly. They cannot afford to overextend in these matters, and they cannot afford to really chase down the members of ThunderTalk at this point in time, because if they do, ThunderTalk has ways to be able to punt.
Yeah, I think people have been putting him down so much. I mean, Soil is such a great player. The reason why ThunderTalk got themselves into this great spot this season was also because of Soil together with the whole squad. I mean, the whole squad has been doing so well recently, and it was also very great that they had Soil in the roster, because remember, he played this on the bot lane, but look at this, they're gonna go for the bot lane. Remake's gonna be the first target on side of the shadows. They have another flash on their side, and that's gonna be the first kill. As we said, as they needed, Soil ignite on his head. Chenshi might be next, but still a 1-for-1.
Yeah, definitely is. It's a 1-for-1 trade, so it's not as big as one could hope, or even as ThunderTalk could hope.
Ooh, Chenshi.
That was scary. But as you have stated, it's not literally the best outcome that ThunderTalk had wanted, so it's still decent back and forth.
Oh, there you go. They rotated. That's what you needed to do. You needed to put Remake on the bot lane, or rather the mid lane, just for him to fight against the Vladimir. That's a way better pickup for themselves, because it's gonna be easier for Neon to punish a Soul in the bot lane, and that's what you want to do here. But let's take a look at the replay again on bot side.
Yeah, it's the onslaught of Shadow that came through, and Chansey was prepared. Look at how Chansey also tanked majority of the damage because he understood that X-Buy and Soil, when it comes down to it, if they took any single amount of damage, they could just get deleted. And that's the great part about the Gragas thus far, the support of Thunder Talk. It's always a team player. Chenzi has always been playing for the team.
Yeah, now top side though, Yitze fighting a 1v1 here. Ignite is sticking on the head of Shin. Doesn't have an Arcane Blade on his side. He does have the barrier just to take some time. And now he would be able to turn the fight around. Flashes in and almost gets the kill on Yitze if not for that call Demik.
Yeah, it was a good space that was brought there by Yitze, but staying here just to clear down the wave is kind of a good option as well, given the fact that Thunder Talk is already low when it comes to top side of the map. So these back and forths, they really have to be considered. And right now, it's Rift Herald and Dragon that will come out in 1 minute.
I thought they're going to be leaving the mid lane open. That could give an opportunity for Nova to take a plate for themselves and get this mid lane push really early. That's why it's a good start that they would be able to take that long. Wasn't able to get it in the end. What? Soul Unbound and wasn't able to finish the Scuttler. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate. Oh, the Rift Scuttler will just give you an advantage when it comes to information. But right now, Rift Herald and Drake will come out. If Thunder Talk plays this, similar to how they did in the past games, the Rift Herald will be one of the priorities here by Thunder Talk.
It's going to be prioritized for all the other squads, but because of the Rift Scuttler that they had there, that's a big advantage for the squad. And that's exactly what they need, getting the Rift Scuttler just to snowball the game out of control. I mean, Dragon gives you a bit of stats, but in the early game, it doesn't really matter. So here, might as well get something tangible, like the gold that you get from this Rift Herald.
Yeah, it's just a lot of gold. It gives you so much accelerations. Plus, on top of that, oh my, that was so close.
If it missed that smite, that could have been it. They could have taken that.
Yeah. On top of that, you could have that security of the first turret in the mid lane as well, which opens up a whole bag of worms for Nova. With how Thunder Talk has been playing, they want that priority onto the Baron. So getting that tier 1 in mid lane will give them and aid them so much to reaching that goal.
Yeah, now in the mid lane, they're going to be pulling back here. From what we're seeing, Thunder Talk is... Ooh, wow. Thunder Talk is just going to be giving this mid lane for free. They still are looking for a push in the bot lane because that is where... Oh, that's why they put the Rift Herald there. They just want to take the tower in bot lane and give Z as much gold as he can.
Yeah. Steve, though, has to force
good thing he used it on.
shadows.
Yeah, it's a good thing he was able to get that and was able to run away from that. That could have been his death, but I think Chenchi's death is going to be named here, and that is a fast reaction from Nova.
Yeah, very quick, very swift. Nova was able to find that opportunity. Yes, it was one ultimate, but a kill is definitely worth the ultimate used. And right now, you really just want that consistent back and forth. And looking at it, Thunder Talk, yes, they have the advantage, but still do consider Nova has the Infernal Drake. They have put that kill into an even level playing field now onto 6 minutes just because they got that kill onto Chenzi. And that's really good.
Yeah, and we're seeing now, Blade of the Ruin King has already been built by Long. I mean, he needs like 2 or 3 more items before this would be able to make it work for the end. But right now, Nova has been looking for a lot more today. And so far, Thunder Talk is still keeping the game at an equal footing.
Even footing, top side.
Shin, top side, gonna be running away. Doesn't have the ultimate on their side though, but is gonna be surviving. Oh, he was able to dodge that.
Oh my. That Ezreal is built different time and time again. Yes, those are not connecting, but it was so close every single time.
Remake flash. He's gonna get the paddle star. Remake doesn't have any more extra flashes, but he has a flash of his own. He was able to run away.
Yeah, and that's the annoying part about Zoe, right? Use the flash up against it in a 1v1, it's gonna come back to bite you in the back.
Nova fighting back, and so far it's working in their favor. Neon is gonna die in Shin. It's just so good at using this Aatrox.
Yeah, too good. Despite, you know, the lane disadvantage, despite the matchup disadvantage coming into the early game, it doesn't matter.
Was able to make it work again, but let's take a look at this replay and what happened to Z again top side.
Yeah, Yitze just used up the proto belt, or well, rather
so much
the
damage.
chase down. The Call of the Meek, and then you have the CC. That's really the strong suit of your Necton.
Oh yeah. Now from what we're seeing, it is still looking like we're still equal in the gold department. Just a 1k gold lead, really not that bad. But Nova, an advantage is an advantage that they're willing to take.
Yeah. We'll see though. Right now, will be something that will be scary as long. Pays a visit on bot side of the map.
Yep. So far, it has been so hard for Nova to grasp an advantage more than a 1k gold lead or a 3k gold lead. So far, Thunder Talk is only the one team that is just keeping them at that and not even helping them just gain the advantage they need so far. Nova Esports rotating onto the mid lane. They're trying to look for any kills that they might be able to take. X-Boy has been hit with a sleepy trouble bubble, but no follow-up whatsoever from Nova.
Yeah, and I like this position coming from Nova. They understood that they have to recontrol more of the top side of the map this time around compared to what they did in the past 4 games.
What
remake.
is happening? Why is everybody in the mid lane? They just want to take the mid lane turret as fast as they could. And everybody's putting their selves in this side of the map. But right now, 9 minutes 30 seconds. Now they can set up some vision for this objective.
They could definitely do. Ice Drake will come out at 10 seconds. And that is something that both Thunder Talk and Nova definitely wants. But getting those informations are going to be crucial for both these teams. Look at the position though for Thunder Talk.
Yeah, but also they have to be scared of what Shin could bring into this battles now. Because Shin is very well fed. And I do expect him to be the stronger force in this fight. But Remake is making him be afraid in this next battles that are gonna come out.
Yeah. Yitze, he's an immediate Sangun pull. So good of a Vladimir. That skill set is just so amazing. Right now, this will be Z who falls down half HP.
That was scary. Battlestar mid lane's gonna get pushed though if Thunder Talk doesn't make any movements here.
And Long also pays visit with a soul unbound. So there's just so much back and forth, and the delayed time gets the advantage for Nova.
Yeah, Long is a bit too late here. They're going to be using the Dragon for themselves. That's going to be taken, and that's going to be it. Right now, they're pushing for more, and the damage is going through. Right now, onto the backline. They got some damage. Thunder Talk is going to the backline, too. Yami's going to be his next target, but he's fighting against 2. Battlestar is going to hit, but it's not going to matter because Remake is also going to die, and Thunder Talk is still chasing. Yami's going to be next, and that is going to be Ace if he falls right here. And that's an ace for the squad, and they're too fast for the members of Nova.
That's worth it, right? Yes, Nova might have gotten the Infernal Drake, and they may have gotten the tier 1 turret into the mid lane, but Thunder Talk can do the same. They get the ace, they get the tier 1 into the mid lane, and now they can reset and set up for the Baron.
Yeah, 3.6k gold lead just out of that battle that happened in the Dragon. And that's a massive gold gap, especially if you're fighting a squad who has a Vladimir and a Sivir, who doesn't really do much in the early game. But because Shin was so fed, let's take a look at this fight again.
Yeah, it's pretty much the setup from Yami was amazing.
Ooh,
but
yeah.
Chanty explosive cast isolated, forced Neon to go back out, and Z and X-By just came through with a blink. It was too good. And after that, they were pretty much dismembered. They were disassembled.
Look at what Shin was doing this whole fight though. Look at when he was going to the back line against 2 members. He wasn't damaged. Even Remake's Battlestar with a Sleepy Trouble Bubble wasn't even able to scratch him really that hard. But again, that is also because Shin was just fed this game. He won the battle against Yitze and is just getting rewarded for it.
Yeah, and right now, Sleepy Trouble Bubble.
Yeah,
very dangerous.
is going to be used. Pushes him back, and that's going to be it. Jami might be dead here. They're going to follow through with the onset of the shadows. Fierce everybody, and was able to follow through. Right now, they're going to go for it. Knock up onto Shenji. Neon is going to be dead. They have a Fate Sealed, but the Fate Sealed is going to work around Long. And that could have been it, but so far, they are working their magic. And right now, Remake might be able to turn things around here. He has the Hex Tech, Proto Belt, and Shan. But Shin is just going to be pulling him back.
Yeah, and this right now for Thunder Talk is so good. Remake still has Proto Belt though.
Yep, right now gets the damage, and that is going to be it. They got the kill, and they had the Baron for themselves.
Yeah, and this is the 2 sides of the coin, wherein if Nova separates themselves each and every single time, they will be separated when it comes to that all-in engage from Thunder Talk. But on the flip side, if Nova stacks on top of each other, that happens. And X, by utilization of the Onslaught of Shadows, was able to stack up onto every single one, which opened up the opportunity for Thunder Talk to go all in.
Yeah, that's gonna be an easy ban for the squad here for now. As we said, we were talking about the draft really early on in the drafting phase, and once we saw the first two picks together with a Sivir, that game is gonna be hard for Nova, whatever they pick, because that's a Hecarim and an Aatrox. Once they speed up, they're gonna be chasing your backline for sure. And so far, Nian hasn't been having the best of games this game.
Yeah, right now, Nova has to play 4-time.
Yep, goes knock up onto Z. They're not going to be able to kill that Vladimir, but a pushback onto Yitze is going to be the target of the squad here. They have the Call of the Force God, gets the knock up on one. He was able to flash away, but look at Z, transfusions in. That's going to be a kill. And Shin, look at him. Look at this guy. He's just tanking up and just walking forward. He's so tanky this game.
So tanky, and right now there are a lot of waves pushing in. Every single lane is going in favor for Thunder Talk.
Yep, and from what we're seeing, CP Trouble Bubble knocks up
Awesome
Battlestar.
Shadow.
Remake to be a target, but no, was not able to get to the target on time. This tower is gonna fall down, but oh no, they hit Z. That might be scary. Damage from that Sleepy Trouble Bubble was able to end them, and Z is a bit too over aggressive today.
A bit too over aggressive. That was a kill to the side of Nova. That was just a pinch to Thunder Talk's advantage, because if you're looking at the stats right now, 9k gold lead in favor for Thunder Talk. On top of that, they get the natural lane pressure into the mid lane with the inhibitor down.
Yep, right now, you're seeing it. Dragon's gonna be available. I mean, this is gonna be the second dragon. This is gonna be a denial that Nova just wants to do. And look at that. Thunder Talk is not even paying any mind out of that. Shenzi forced to flash away. And Dragon is gonna be taken for free.
Yeah, that's unfortunate with the Summoner Spell burnt, but it has to be done. Nova takes the Mountain Drake, and they brought down the 4k gold deficit that they were able to face just minutes back.
Yeah. Now, right now, from what we're seeing here, this is going to be hard for Nova. As we were saying, they need Long to get the items that he needs in order for this composition to work, because if not, this is just going to be harder and harder as we move forward in the game, because they had to think about two members, and even Shin is a threat now. Nobody could go 1v1 against that guy. That's why they're leaving him to the sharks. That explosive cast could have been deadly. A remake is still being chased down. Boomerang Blade wasn't able to hit. They had to call up the Force God to stop them from pushing. Long was able to get the damage on next fight, but he didn't get the kill. She onto the back line was able to get the damage, but wasn't able to follow through. Here comes Shin, and he would be able to finish all. Yami's gonna be next, and they are going for Yitze. The Crocodile, the Predator, has met its prey, and Shin is the Predator as we were talking, and this game is done.
Thunder Talk is now looking at the Nexus. They're pushing in.
Yeah, this game is over, and Thunder Talk is gonna be moving forward in our lower brackets 4-1, and this series, Nova is gonna be out of the tournament.
An unfortunate time for Nova. Dreams have been crushed, but Thunder Talk
Oh no,
as
they're
well.
not there anymore.
So good of a performance. They just shone and shined into the league today in that series. They were able to perform, just took one opportunity once again and took it to a win.
Yep, and as we've seen there, that is just a confident squad here for Thunder Talk. They just had one bad game today, and that was game 3. But after that, they were able to work it out until the end there. Nova, our former champions from the last icons that we had, but again, wasn't able to qualify in the end, and they are taken out of our tournament.
Yeah, they were taken out. Really unfortunate that Nova has to say goodbye today. But you know what? They could still make it back coming into Season 3. But Thunder Talk being the focus coming into the winners of that series, they're now proceeding into the lower bracket.
Yeah, they would be able to move forward. They're going to be waiting for their enemies. I think it's Trace Esports versus FPX. That is going to be the match that is going to be commencing tomorrow. So we'll be seeing who's going to be moving forward into our tournament after that. Because for now, from what we're seeing, it's looking like Thunder Talk is a team that still has to work some things out. So far, they're so good. But they still have some nooks and crannies that they need to clean. Because this was not a clean game that they had.
Yeah, but overall, from what we have emphasized time and time again, if Aatrox is fed, if Aatrox gets to a point wherein he's good to go, no one's gonna be able to kill him, and no one will be left alive onto the Darkened Blade.
Yeah. Move forward in the tournament, Thunder Talk would be able to get there. But from what we've seen from the last time that we've seen Nova Esports, they were a better squad back then. They were able to get toe-to-toe against J-Team during Season 1. They were just eliminated by the likes of KBG. But now, Season 2 is a way different story. They got eliminated a bit earlier compared to Season 1.
Yeah, really is unfortunate. But at this point, the performance of Thunder Talk really states it all. The confidence coming into those matches, really, one opportunity, if it's left open for Thunder Talk, they consistently take that and take it to a win. One team fight alone changed the whole game.
Yeah, and again, from this whole series, XBuy was a really good... Oh, wait, what? I thought Shin is gonna get the MVP this game, but XBuy, yes, he really did well for the gangs, but I thought Shin just absorbed a lot more pressure this game. But yes, the jungler is still gonna take the MVP.
Yeah, 81% kill participation, really still good. And I echo your thoughts there. Sin was one of the honorable mentions that we've had coming into that prior game. His performance, his damage, the ability to tank for the team as well, and really deal a lot of crowd control was an amazing feat.
Yeah, he was able to put a lot of pressure on the members right there of Nova. But again, Thunder Talk really made it so that they have a statement to make for this game. I mean, they lost against KBG during the last time that you've seen them in the winner's bracket, and that's why they're here in the lower brackets. It's because they lost before. Again, Thunder Talk getting a 4-1 against Nova Esports.
Yeah, 4-1 up against Nova. It was so good coming in from Thunder Talk. I mean, their performance coming to the regular stages, this is the peak of Thunder Talk that we're talking about. This is the strength of Thunder Talk. And right now, as we have mentioned, they will move forward in the lowest bracket.
Yeah, I mean, it's so hard here for them to be able to lose this early. It's really sad to see Nova in this state. And before, they were one of the best teams. And also, during the playoffs, that is the only time that we've seen the meta change drastically. That doesn't favor some teams here, that Nova and Trace Esports isn't able to capitalize on their carry junglers, because back in the start of Season 2, these two teams are so strong because the carry junglers are so good and they had a lot of options, but now they have limited options to work with.
Especially with the pocket picks of Nova, right? The long picks that Long has been consistently hiding and then showing off in occasions, such as Danila coming through, and that is where they really shine. But it's really unfortunate. Meta has changed, patch changed, and the adaptation will be crucial.
Yeah, really hard though. It's really hard for them. But now let's take a look at the fight that's gonna happen tomorrow. FPX versus Trace Esports. Remember, it's a very different playing field whenever you're talking about a team like Trace Esports, because it's the same thing as what happened this game, because we had another carry jungler tomorrow for our games.
Yeah, FPX versus Trace Esports.
Yeah,
Trace Esports lost to EDG, which was expected to say the least. EDG is really just a strong team, but that's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, and again, that was just our show for today, everybody. That was the CN conference ending their lower bracket today, but we still have some games for the lower brackets tomorrow. So again, everybody, don't forget to watch the Wild Rift League Asia Season 2 tomorrow. We are going to be back tomorrow for more games. See you guys for more Wild Rift. Bye-bye.